the grand final in the reserve grade competition, Geelong versus Fitzroy from the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Like their seniors, the Cats scored most points for the season in the reserves, averaging 20 goals a match and finishing with a mammoth percentage of 154. They'd beaten Essendon in the qualifying final and minor premiers Carlton in the second semi. Their opponents, Fitzroy, finished in fifth spot, having to beat Fitzroy in round 22 to make the final. They beat them again in the elimination final by 10 goals. The reserve grade grand final, Geelong versus Fitzroy.
Yes, welcome to the reserve grade grand final, and once again we see a Geelong side, 3 in action on the MCG today. Let's hope for the Cats' sake anyway that they have better luck than they did in the under-19s when they were pipped by 1 point. Geelong have got to the grand final, I guess you could say the easier way. Fitzroy coming up from 5th spot. It is of course very hard to win a grand final coming from that position on the ladder. Let's check how the two teams played during the year. In their meetings in round 5, Fitzroy a mammoth score of 32-15, 207, defeating Geelong 16-14, 110. And in round 14, it was Geelong getting the better of their opponents. Scores a little bit lower, 11-16, 82 to 6-16, 52.
A toss here, and Fitzroy will be going left to right with the breeze in the first quarter, but not much of a breeze. Let's take a look at the Geelong lineup here today. A couple of, many names here well known. Morgan has played 21 senior games this year, and Andrew Rogers 16 senior games. We have Tony Malakellis and Tim Burke, younger brothers of Spiro and Damien Burke, who will play in the seniors, of course, this afternoon. Michael Cole, the Gardner medalist, will be worth looking for. It's the highest scoring team in the competition, as were the Geelong seniors this year. But of course, during the year, they've had players like Exel, Lindner, Fletcher and Scott, who, through a combination of being in the first or injured, won't be playing today.
Yes, during the Fitzroy side, very experienced with players like Ironmonger, Conlon, Leon Harris, going to set them up. Brockhurst, Street have played good senior football this year, and of course Ross Thornton leading the way in the back pocket, and they've done it very hard coming from 5th. Played very well last week to beat Carlton by 31 points. And I'm sure they'll make an excellent contest of it today, and let's hope it might be a side that comes from 5th that wins the grand final, Drew.
Well, as Peter mentioned, that is very hard to do, but Fitzroy is the only team in VFL football who've done that. Their under-19s did it in 1982.
We also have another first, Drew. It's the first time I've ever called a game with you.
It is a treat for us. So the reserves grand final about to get underway. Umpires Mitchell and Forster. Ball up in the middle. Ironmonger has been a tower of strength in the recent matches, and he puts a long one up towards full forward. The first opportunity for Fitzroy. McCrabb is there in defence. Just beats Scott's tackle. The hand pass away. Drop short of Conlon. Comes to Morgan. Morgan out of defence. A shocking pass. Wheeled and snaps. And I think he might have missed it. No, he gets it in.
I think he was as surprised as anybody.
Well, goodness me, Darren Morgan a little obviously nervous there and just trying to clear the ball, fairly particularly to his Geelong teammate, and he picked out Baldwin there straight away. Good pressure from the Fitzroy forwards there, and Baldwin a good quick kick, and what a way to start your grand final. He's played some senior games in football. I saw him play against Geelong during the seniors this year, and Wilden an excellent kick and a good start for Fitzroy. And Mark Scott's actually lined up at full forward, not centre half forward. His name, Brad Edwards, at centre half back.
Ironmonger getting set to contest the bounce. Didn't see much of Ironmonger in the seniors during the course of 1989. Certainly had a rotten run with injuries. Trowella went through, missed it. Graham Osmond a chance to pick the ball up off the turf, couldn't do so. Troy can't get clear. And finally the catch through Christensen, swing it to attack. That's a beautiful kick. But the mark taken down there for Fitzroy by Brockhurst at the left half-back flank. He's going to come across goal. Now he has better luck than Darren Morgan did at the other end of the ground. Mickey Conlon, will he go out with a premiership? Can't pick the ball up here. It's taken for Geelong down there by Baldwin. 2 Baldwins on the ground today. The mark missed down there by Bunn. A chance for the Cats at left half forward flank. The Troy defence standing firm. That could almost be a free kick. It'll be taken by Balson just up from the back pocket. MCG looking particularly good. Remembering the conditions we saw on the Queen's birthday weekend. And the mark dragged down there by Trowella. Trowella at the right half-back flank. He's gone for a short pass. I was going to say that's effective. Thornton missed one he certainly should have taken, then got shirt fronted for his trouble. He gets the kick nonetheless down to right half forward.
And here's a big chance for Strooper as he runs inside 50 and snaps for goal. No, he goes for the pass rather than the shot for goal, but it's over Wheeldon's head and out of bounds in the forward pocket.
Poor marking by Geelong there, Drew. Strooper was free even before Thornton went for that mark and dropped it. It was still 20 metres free. Poor picking up by the Geelong backman.
The Lions with the only score on the board, a goal. Oh, Strooper, clean possession, but he's buried. Umpire put the whistle away. No whistle for that. Morgan gets the hand pass out to Christensen. Christensen, long kick up towards centre wing. Geelong outnumbered 2-1 there. Ironmonger first back there for the Lions. And he takes one round the neck.
Bit
and
high.
John Ironmonger will take the free kick.
Is it possible to grab John Ironmonger too high?
He'd have to be a high jump champion.
Tim Burke's about the only one who could, I'd say.
Kick by Ironmonger to half forward. Off hands Rogers, but his hand pass blocked by Graham Osborne. Osborne still in possession. Steers the pass low to Scott. Can't take the mark. Bit of interference. No whistle though. Delena, number 2 for the Lions, gets the hand pass back. Strooper up in the air. Bit fortunate that one. Now a kick up in the air. Don't think it'll have gone the 10 metres. Will the mark be paid to Morgan? Yes, just.
Morgan doing plenty of work in defence at the moment. I prefer to forget his first kick. That one's a better one. High flyer for Geelong was Hinkley. Plenty of weight being used down there. Number 46 is Lupson at the bottom of the pack. It's going to be a free kick to Fitzroy. It'll be taken by that player. Short pass, almost effective. Baldwin on the run. Clean possession. Gee, it must be softer than it looks, that ground. Up to full forward. Scott at the back. Can't take the grab. Conlon tried it off the ground but missed it. And the Cats run the ball out of defence. That's happened again. Must have got the wrong stops on Ross.
I think you're right. A lot of them got moulded soles on Peter, rather than perhaps a shorter stop.
And another Geelong player falling over as the ball was driven away for Fitzroy by Bolson down towards the half-forward position. That's a clean mark for Scott. And he's well within kicking distance.
This is going to be not too tall for McCrabb, but McCrabb's going to have to really jump and bustle against Mark Scott, who's had so much experience at full forward. Here we see the replay again. From behind, push McCrabb out gently. Did it well, not too forcibly. And a chance to post his first goal.
Player who started his VFL career at Hawthorn, Mark Scott, directly in front. It's close to the man on the mark and subsequently gets underneath it a little bit. The end result only one behind by the Fitzroy full forward. Fitzroy doing all the scoring so far. 2 shots, Wheeldon the goal, Scott the behind, and the ball to come back into play through McCrabb, who has had plenty of senior experience. Gribble down there in the hands of the trainers. Ball out to the half-back flank. Ironmonger, clean possession. He was out of bounds. I don't think the ball was. The umpire says play on. And Trewella does just that. Hooks the ball up towards the forward pocket. Christensen applies a tackle. Could have almost been construed as illegal. Conlon, some bustling tactics, uses strength. Here's a chance for Fitzroy. Strooper runs into a brick wall and gets pinned. That's holding the ball.
Good work by Michael Cole there to stand his ground and front Strooper. Strooper tried to bustle through, ended up being caught.
Free kick taken by Morgan, out to Christensen. Long kick over centre wing. Chance here. Phillips on centre wing, goes the leap, can't take the mark. And Fitzroy come out of defence. Low kick, pretty awkward. Chance here for Geelong. Oh, high tackle, and Malachillis will take the free kick. Tony Malachillis, the 19-year-old younger brother of Spiro, who'll be playing in the seniors this afternoon. He's kicked the full forward. Comes off hands. The hand pass is threaded out to Alderdice, who has a snap for goal and has put it through.
Of course, with Burke there as well. Sort of almost a permanent reserve with those two. Ironmonger's kick touched off the boot. Conlon grab, seemingly without possession. Umpire calls play on. Cole almost. Long defence standing firm. Thornton gets the hand pass out. Strooper, long shot, will be a behind or out of bounds. It's out of bounds on the full. So Fitzroy, most of the attacking so far in the first quarter, with only a 1-point margin to the Lions. Strooper underneath the ball again, and in fact could have almost been paid the mark. He gets tackled by Christensen, and the umpire says dropping the ball.
He's a little slow getting rid of the ball there, Pete. He thought he was a lot clearer than he actually was. Had a bit of pressure, good tackle by Christensen.
Another player with senior experience. Christensen inside defensive 50, straight down the ground, low trajectory punt. Troy was looking for a free kick for in the back. None came from the umpire. Morgan applies a tackle, and inside the square it's going to be a bounce.
Speaking of Marty Christensen, there, Peter, he's picking up Mick Conlon. course, kicked 6 goals in their preliminary final win last week.
The swan song for Mick this afternoon. This morning, as it still is. Let's hope that he can perform well. Back into the centre. Chance for the Cats to go forward again. It's Gary Cameron gets the hand pass out. A long kick down towards full forward. Brockhurst at the back. That's his second mark of the quarter, and he takes that grab over Brown. Fitzroy coming up from 5th place to try to win the grand final. They beat Fitzroy in the last qualifying round, then had to front up again in the elimination final. 2-on-1 in favour of Fitzroy. Morgan applies the tackle. Away go Fitzroy through the agency of Woods. He gets the hand pass out to Leon Harris.
And Harris down the middle, up towards half forward. Wheeldon slips his opponent. No, it's Scott. And Mark Scott takes the mark. Too far out to score. He centres the ball. It's a beautiful kick. Wheeldon couldn't gain clean possession, and Geelong out of trouble. Gurry, high kick towards centre wing. Almost a freak mark there to Bolton. 2 against 2. Bit of a stack up. And the umpire's going to come in and ball it up.
Change quickly made by Geelong selection committee there. Andrew Gribble coming onto the ground, replacing Michael Mansfield early in his first quarter.
Point the difference. Lions leading 7-6. Ironmonger wins a good tap. Chance here for Graham Osborne if he can get there before the ball goes out. He just keeps it in. And now it's gone off Strooper out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in about 60 metres out from goal. Slight breeze favouring Fitzroy in the first quarter. A number of these Fitzroy players could be seeing for the last time. Certainly Mickey Conlon is going to be coaching Sandringham in the VFA next year, but well, we wonder about the future of a couple of their veterans like Thornton and Harris. This ball up towards the centre of the ground. Troy gets the hand pass out to Gary Cameron on the run. Kick by Cameron towards Umbers. Good gather on the bounce. Snap. And offline for a behind, which levels the scores.
So kick coming from Cameron toward Umbers. Didn't carry as far as he would have liked. He did well to gather the ball and have a quick snap, just missing to the right-hand side.
It's the Umbers go. Back into play. And getting underneath it. Good clean grab taken by Phillips. Phillips at right half forward, but a long way from goal. He's outside 50. Be a particularly good kick from there. Low trajectory punt. Up towards full forward. Almost a mark. Picked up for Fitzroy and delivered out of the danger zone by Bolton. Safe mark on the half-back flank. Seesawing between the defensive, well, the half-back lines at the moment. Good hand pass by Troy. This looks promising for Geelong. The build-up is there now. Morgan, can he capitalise? A nice walk, 35 metres out directly in front. Should be a goal. He's put it through. Cats 6 points the difference with 15.25 minutes left in the opening term. Knock on by Harris. Fitzroy into attack.
Chopped off by Christensen. Long high kick towards half forward. Ball comes to the front of the pack. Woods out of defence. Goes across the ground. Morgan with his opponent trying to punch away. Be happy with that goal after his first kick in the match. Set up a goal for Fitzroy. And this ball's been run out of bounds. With Jason Baldwin there, number 32. I saw him in a couple of league games during the season. Could be anything. Looks a really good
very
run.
promising.
Hold the dice. Beaten to it by Ironmonger. He couldn't get the hand pass away. Here's Peter Baldwin for Geelong. High kick short of centre half forward. No mark. And out of all that, Waterson up towards half forward. Punch down came from Christensen. And now the hand pass away by Bunn. Puts it out wide. Here's best and fairest in the reserves this year, Michael Cole. And he's kicked towards centre half forward. Umbers high, climbed into his opponent, gave away the free kick. And we'll see the free kick coming to Brad Edwards, the former West Australian, who played senior football at the start of the year and gained himself a bit of a reputation. He cleaned up a couple of VFL captains in his first couple of games. Conlon gets his second hand pass for the day. Did you see that? Out towards Harris. And Harris goes the short pass into Scott. Back he goes to Brockhurst. Fitzroy building something up slowly here. Long kick towards the goal square. Thump out of defence by Cole. Just down the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in. Geelong leading 2-1 to 1-1.
So boundary throw in. Right forward pocket for Fitzroy. Scott gets the front position from McCrabb. Ineffective tap down. Rogers tackled well by Galina. And a stalemate. The obvious solution is to bounce it. As you can see, pretty close to the goal for Fitzroy. They got the first of the match. Geelong have got the last two. 13 and a quarter minutes remaining in the term. Lead up to the big one. Scott this time tapped it down. Standing start kick from Cole. And the ball just was out of bounds on the full. Yes, it was. It's against Fitzroy. In fact, against Baldwin. Free kick to be taken for Geelong by Morgan. He's been at everything so far. He's been very busy. As Bruce said, gave a goal away virtually. He kicked one himself to square the ledger. Big pack of players on centre wing. None can take the mark. Thornton grabbed when not in possession. Must get the free kick. Looks for 50 with an Academy Award performance.
And got it.
Well, technically, I suppose, correct. We won't argue with that.
Interesting note too, Peter, a lot of player profiles over the year. They say, what change would you like to make to the existing rules or the game as it stands? And every player says, get rid of the 50-metre rule.
I think having to kick it after a free kick would go along with that too, Ross.
Yes, I wouldn't doubt that.
The umpires don't seem to like it. It goes against the flow of play, really, doesn't it? Thornton, better known as a defender, to shoot at goal. 40 metres out, directly in front. He might have kicked it like a defender too. He has. It's one behind. So Fitzroy still trailing, but only by 5 points. 2-1 to 1-2 at the MCG. Number 50 for Fitzroy is Wheeldon. 38 for Geelong is Austin McCrabb. Off to the member stand side. One of the options out there. Certainly a lot more open. Troy takes the mark. The umpires whistle him and pushing the back. Well, I thought he had eyes on the ball.
And a quick change again by the Geelong selection there. Mansell back on the ground. Hill, the player to come off.
Thornton centres the ball up towards full forward, and that's it. Has he played the mark? Yes, he has. Bunn, is it? Wheeldon. Who's kicked one goal already. Long way out from goal. At least he's gone back a long way. Conlon makes the lead. That's ignored. Try for the spiral punt. Stuttering start. Looks pretty good though off the boot, and he's put it through for a goal. Fitzroy in front by a point.
Terrific there. He ran right into Umbers there. Umbers ended up shepherding for him, which is good work. And then Morgan just very deceptively broke away. And a very long kick on his left foot we see. And Morgan actually tapped the ball down, then went back to pick it up, ran into Umbers, got away from the tackle from Edwards, from Fitzroy, and then a very good long left foot kick from there. He has been very busy so far in this first quarter.
And he's already kicked two, having given one away in the first couple of minutes of the game.
7 possessions to Morgan Group.
Ball up in the centre. And once again, Alderdice wins. Umpers the hand pass to Gary Cameron. Might have been grabbed when he didn't have it. Umpire didn't see it that way. Bit of a stack up. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. Umpire Forster in charge today with Mitchell.
Gary Cameron there, Drew, just showing you, just take your eyes off the ball for a split second. Very easy to fumble it.
John Ironmonger played every senior game last year for the Lions and none this year. Here's Morgan again for touch number 8. And he'll get it through a free kick.
Darren Morgan, busiest man on the ground. Now, certainly to show the selectors that he should have been in the seniors. Towards full forward. That's pretty close, but not close enough from Tony Malakalis. And one behind. To Geelong, 3-2 to 2-2. First quarter of the reserves. We've got just over 10 minutes left in the opening term. And it'll be Brockhurst to kick the ball back. Wobbly punt kick off the boot. John Ironmonger. Tallest man on the ground, or bad hand pass, or it wasn't taken down there by Bunn. It comes towards centre wing position. And the rebound picked up for the Cats by Phillips. His high kick travels just towards the 50-metre mark. Good mark by Brad Edwards. Thought about giving it to Graham Osborne. Decides to go long instead. Out to the outer side. Plenty up, none down. Rogers may get there first for Geelong. Strooper into his back and comes out with the ball. Very effective hand pass. So a good build up by Fitzroy. Now long kick up towards full forward. Austin McCrabb looks for Troy. Cats running the ball well out of defence, and they do it with ease. After a slow start, Cats away. Chance now for Hinckley. Gets the hand pass back again, but it wasn't a particularly good one. Dragged off it, holding the ball, says the umpire.
He called a play on first, Peter, the umpire, when it should have been a free kick in the first place, and he changed his mind and paid the free kick for holding the ball, dropping the ball, whatever you like.
Mansfield nonplussed as the free kick is taken by Thornton. Kick up towards the centre wing position. Nobody can take it. Stroop is there once more. Only Baldwin's ball. Bounced too kindly for him. It's out of bounds on centre wing.
Well, we've got the commentator's nightmare now, Peter, and the Baldwins have picked each other up.
We thought that might happen there, actually. 3-2 to 2-2. Ironmonger doing well in the ruck from all the dice. The umpire has plucked a free kick out of this. It's going Geelong's way.
As the umpire suggested, he threw the ball then, not handballed correctly.
And Craig Alderdice will take the free. He's kicked 1 goal so far.
Kick by Alderdice to centre half forward. Punch down in front. Osborne waits for the hand pass and gets it nicely. Drives it to half forward. Scott out very wide near the 50-metre line. Mark Scott with Austin McCrabb. Goes to ground. Tunnels it out the back. But nobody there. Here's Paycor in defence. Gets the hand pass away over the top. Got short of Christensen. Osborne in for a second chance. Now he's put under good pressure. Go out on the full, it did. And it's a Geelong free kick. Be taken by Gary Cameron. Half-back flank for the Cats. Geelong leading by 1 straight kick. 20 to 14. High to centre wing. Comes to the front. And away goes Phillips. And now onto the chest of Gribble. Puts it out wide. Umbers on the 50-metre line. Slight breeze. Slightly into his face, but mostly left to right. In the under-19s, they kicked brilliantly. 50 metres didn't bother them at all. Kick by Umbers is away to the right for a behind.
Yes, the breeze on this MCG surface, Drew, is a bit deceiving when you look at the flag sometimes. Up on top of the scoreboard, you get down on the ground level, it tends to swirl a bit more, but certainly does favour that end.
Kick in by Brockhurst. It's going about 60 metres. And the hand pass comes back from Waterson. Fitzroy up to half forward. And that'll be a free kick. He was leg Truella, who was one of Fitzroy's best and fairest in the reserves the last 2 seasons. And it's for the Alan Butchgale Memorial Trophy. Been on offer twice, and he's won it both times, Truella. This is Gary Cameron. Hand pass out of defence to Morgan. Cutting them to pieces. Playing on Osborne by the looks. Puts out the kick very wide. It comes to Gribble. Oh, he's mucked it up there as they approach the 50. And out of defence, Edwards.
Gribble caught one a little bit too high, Drew. He's still down. Thornton looks for the hand pass. It's a long one. Graham Osborne on the run inside the square. Drop punt up towards full forward. Scott ducks back. Could have got a free kick against McCrabb. The umpire says no. And Strooper goes for the knock-on. And there's that Geelong player we mentioned. Michael Cogg, is it?
Yeah.
Taken a little bit high.
Again, that question of whether the Fitzroy player actually was going for the ball or the player, where we had quite a bit of conjecture with Brereton. So,
well, he seems to be okay, but it certainly did look a little bit high. So Rogers. Morgan, bad hand pass to him because he was pinned. Thornton turns on a Thrupney bit and shoots at goal. And that's going pretty close, but I don't think it's a major. In fact, through for only 1 behind. So he's kicked 2 points now, Ross Thornton. 2-3 to 3-3, 1 straight kick the difference. 21 plays 15. As warming up on the boundary line is Marcoux. Is that a mark? The umpire says no. Play on as the call. Looping hand pass, but it's Geelong's ball. Picked up by Baldwin. Baldwin's kick out towards the centre wing position. Knock on for Fitzroy. Taken away by Bunn. He might be able to gather his own knock on out there as he's chased by Mansfield, but it's out of bounds. And the throw in just on the Geelong attacking side of centre. 34 is Alderdice. Big John Ironmonger comes in to contest the boundary throw in with him. Alderdice hasn't got the bump, but gets the front position. Ironmonger gets the tap down, but couldn't find a teammate.
and the player coming on, Andrew Marcoux, you mentioned, Peter, replacing Carl Delina, who formed a good roving combination early in the season with Wally Matera in the seniors. Hasn't had a touch so far, has now been benched.
Ironmonger, the Sydney Swans. Taps that one out. Gary Cameron should get there first. Looks for the free kick, none forthcoming. And it's out of bounds. So Fitzroy gaining about 15 to 20 metres from that. As the clock ticks down to 4.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. One straight kick the difference. Again, Ironmonger with all the dice. Athletic, rather, we might say. Baldwin's hand pass. Cats again go into attack. Kick is short towards full forward. Fitzroy defence standing firm through Harris. Thornton at the fall of the ball. Conlon falls for it, gets the hand pass. A little bit off balance when he kicked, and the result fairly obvious. He sneaked it in from behind. Been lucky to get that. So a further point to Fitzroy. 5 points the difference. 2-4 to 3-3.
Vicky Collins suggested Ross Thornton that handball could have come just a smidge earlier, would have given him a bit more time to steady. As it was, he's under pressure, so he blamed Ross Thornton for that missed goal. Don't like Vic.
Does he know anything about handball?
He's had two already, hasn't he?
Get a lesson from Kevin Bartlett.
McCrabb kicks in. Phillips almost a mark. He's been a good player on the wing for Geelong so far in this first quarter. He was spotted by a former Cat and got him from Haileybury College down to Geelong, and he is the only player on the Geelong list who commutes from Melbourne to go down and play in Geelong. Here goes Osborne. Keeps the kick low, not a bad kick, just tipped over the top by Conlon past Scott. McCrabb out of defence. Ironmonger hands to it. Chance here at the back of the pack to Marcoux, who's Alex Marcoux's younger brother. Strooper in this marking contest, but beaten to it by Rogers.
Good mark, Drew. Stood his ground well.
Andrew Rogers straight up the centre of the ground, a good kick to Troy. 5-point lead is Geelong. And we have just under 3 minutes remaining to quarter time. Tackle in the back. And that is a free kick. And the free kick coming to Mansfield. He centres the ball. And Michael Cole has recovered from that earlier knock. Will line up for goal for the Cats.
Very mobile player is Michael Cole. Runs all day. He's played a lot of senior football. And as Drew said, Gardner medal for this year. The VFL Reserves competition.
This to stretch the Cats' lead to 11 points. Kicks from about 48 metres. Won't make it. Ironmonger's there, well placed. Uncontested, takes the mark.
It's a sin when the opposition defenders take marks like that, Drew. Forward should contest at every issue.
Waterson out of defence from Ironmonger's hand pass. Trouble there for Leon Harris, who represented Victoria when he was a regular seniors player. And this kick up short of centre wing. Trewella gets the hand pass back. Buried is Woods. And the ball out of bounds. The umpire calls for the boundary throw-in.
1 minute 43 left in the opening quarter. All the dice with Ironmonger. A good deal so far with honours to Ironmonger, especially with palm outs like that. Malakalis' kick drops a little bit short. Edwards goes to spoil and does it effectively. The umpire will bounce it about 45 metres out from the Geelong goal. So a chance for the Cats to increase their lead before the siren. All slapped down to Cole. His kick might be out of bounds. Cameron has the mark. No, he does not have the mark. It's out of bounds. The free kick will be going Fitzroy's way to be taken by Baldwin. Knocked away by Morgan. He'll get it back. Farms it out to Troy. Cat's hand pass has been good so far. Umpire played the advantage rule there as Malakalis does in fact play on. Chance for Cameron. Just couldn't quite grasp it. Tipper's becoming a little bit frayed behind the play there. Losing the ball was Paycor. Fitzroy's defence standing firm at the moment. Getting offloaded is Baldwin. Fitzroy's Baldwin. Harris, a looping hand pass that covers about 30 metres. Oh, that could have been a bit high on Thornton. The Geelong player is down, but Thornton was the one that got it a little bit high.
He got a free kick there, and then he handballed on quickly to Leon Harris, which you can't do, so the ball's coming back for a bounce, Peter.
It's tough when you play.
It is, because it was the right thing to do, Drew, wasn't it? I mean, Harris was running off him, did the right thing, handballed quickly, and now the penalty comes back and it's a bounce.
Well, we were speaking about that before, Ross. The rule is against the flow of play, isn't it?
It certainly is.
So it's a bounce on centre wing. 21 players 16. Less than a minute remaining in the term. And the ball beating Malakalis over the boundary line for a throw.
Malakalis, one of 4 under-19s players elevated to today's game, who could have played in the reserves in the under-19s preliminary final, is now playing a grand final in the twos.
Only 3 seconds left in the first quarter. And there is the siren. First term slightly won by
Reserves grand final 3-3 to 2-4 at the MCG. Game starting fairly quietly after we had a crackerjack finish in the under-19s with a 1-point victory to Richmond over Geelong. Finally, Ironmonger boot the ball from a standing start. Scott had it knocked away from him. Cats defence under plenty of pressure at the moment. And they might be able to get out of danger, which they do through the agency of Gurry. His kick into the open spaces on the outer side. Troy racing for it. And he'll just get there in front of Lupson, but that was a pretty good tackle applied by Lupson.
It's a good pressure, Peter. Caught it well there. I mean, he certainly did. Troy had sent out a lot of room, and Lupson picked him up quickly and forced him out.
Boundary throw in centre wing. Pretty crowded when it's going to be too. Ironmonger with all the dice. Oh, he thumps it some 25 metres further downfield. The big Fitzroy ruckman. Oh, a good hip and shoulder from Thornton put Morgan out of business, and he looks a bit sore. Conlon. Oh, Scott, good use of the body. Almost illegal, you would have to suggest. Morgan looks as though he might be out of business permanently. I called it as a hip and shoulder. I don't think I need to retract that. Morgan, of course, was one of the catalysts in getting Geelong going in the opening term. After he conceded a goal, he finished up booting 2. The second was a gem, but back with Scott for his first. He missed one earlier. I think he's missed another one.
Yes, he's spraying the bit for a fellow who's normally a very accurate kick, Peter. He's led the goal kicking in both 19s and reserves, so he's not afraid to kick a goal.
See, well, it was a hip and shoulder by Ross Thornton. Morgan left himself wide open as he was on the ground. He seems to be okay, albeit a little bit sore.
kick in by McCrabb. Big pack gathers. Well, good mark, all the dice.
Great mark, wasn't it? Yes, Morgan got that right on that AC joint there, Peter, on the tip of your shoulder. They're very, very painful, they are.
Kicked by Craig Alderdice up towards centre half forward. And the mark not quite paid there. Hinkley had hands on it. Former Fitzroy player. Peter Baldwin for Geelong up towards half forward flank. And whistle's gone. Advantage paid. Brockhurst was going to get the free kick. Fitzroy bring it back to the centre. Alderdice hand passes blocked by Thornton. Thornton keeps going. Great play. Strooper. And his kick is smothered by his opponent Rogers. Morgan back into the fray. He's had 10 possessions already, Darren Morgan. So just as well he recovered from that knock. Here's Delina back on the field to start the second quarter. Goes back with his hand pass, misses his teammate. But it's a chance here for a bun to pick up. Thornton goes back again to Graham Osborne. Threads his way through the traffic. Goes long to full forward. Scott well placed. Takes the mark.
He must get this one, surely.
And again, a good example of a player, Drew, just keeping his eye on the ball. And McCrabb was a bit worried about where Scott was. Rather than watching the flight of the balls that came down, Scott, the taller of the two players there, just kept his eye on the ball the whole time. Bustled McCrabb out of the way. McCrabb not turning around quickly and keeping his eye on the ball. And an easier mark.
Mark Scott at his third VFL club. Goes for goal and gets his first.
3-5 to 3-3 in the second quarter of the reserve grade grand final. 21 3/4 minutes left in this term. Alderdice with Ironmonger. Titanic struggle. This time it's won by the Geelong player. Baldwin's kick is high. Hasn't really travelled much distance. Osborne up to half forward, and a strong mark taken by Rogers, who had during the year senior experience after he was wooed to Geelong by Malcolm Blight, formerly of Essendon, here in the VFL at least anyway. Chance for the Cats through Mansfield. Bad hand fast. Good pressuring by Fitzroy. Ball still on the centre wing position. Gary Cameron's on the bottom of that pack, I think. There he is. And a bit of temper there from Bolson.
Yes, and Richard Hill back on the ground, Peter, for Andrew Gribble. Another quick change again with the under-19s players.
Ball up, centre wing. Ironmonger doing well in the ruck against Alderdice, although the latter has taken a couple of good marks this term. Morgan, maybe with that shoulder still a little bit sore after that shirt front. Cameron gets one for his corner. Play on is the call from the umpire, and in fact they're going on with it, those two. That's Waterson. Play continues. Could have almost been a free kick to Fitzroy's Baldwin. They jog off. Well, finally, a hand pass comes out from Rogers to Cole. He gets clear of Wielden, who's kicked 2 goals so far, up towards full forward. Well, the standard of play hasn't really improved. The tackling is pretty good. And the Lions working it manfully. This is Bolton, who was involved in that altercation before. His kick is high and he travels about 35 metres. Now Geelong, can they build up with this? Chance for them here to go forward. A long kick as the ball is driven up towards their full forward position. And a strong mark has been grabbed by Hinckley, formerly of Fitzroy. And a chance to restore the lead for the Cats.
There's a good long kick there by Michael Gurry, Peter, and gave his forward a good chance there, 1 out.
Celebrating his 23rd birthday today.
And might be able to get it with a goal. And the goal umpire runs across, but it's a goal.
Lead seesawing here. Geelong back in front by 4 points. Ironmonger tries to take clean possession. Osborne out of the centre. Straight back to Troy in the centre circle. Thornton. Beautifully played out of the middle by the veteran. Long to full forward. Scott behind this time. McCrabb pulled off it, and McCrabb will take a free kick. Bradwin not in possession. Goes for the lead of Morgan. Isn't he covering some territory? Darren Morgan goes for a burst, puts it out in the centre wing, and that kick just a little bit too high for Phillips. Has a chance to run onto it. Approaching 50, centering kick. Malakalis is there, but the kick didn't travel, and the mark taken by Harris. Leon Harris, one of the veterans in this Fitzroy reserves team, towards centre wing. Off hands to Morgan again, who's cutting them to pieces. Morgan from about 60 metres. What a kick! Shepherded through for a goal.
See, that's good play by Morgan. His pace has been a real telling factor in his preparedness to get the ball. And his immediate marksman at the moment is Anthony Woods, who really didn't have any chance whatsoever there, or perhaps his concentration to allow him to give himself a chance to pick up Morgan. And Morgan just sprinted away. What a fine left foot kick it was. Good shepherding in the square there as well. Fitzroy player there in Brockhurst perhaps could have stood his ground and jumped and touched that ball through. Was taken out well by Geelong forward.
3 goals to Darren Morgan, best on the ground so far. 11 kicks and 2 hand passes. His stats as the Cats go to a 10-point lead. And here he is again. Left foots it down towards half forward. A wobbly kick this time. Lupson, it's just about ridden into the ground. A chance for the Cats through Hinckley. Good tackle applied. Ball very close to the boundary line. Did he keep it in? No, says the boundary umpire, and it will be thrown in. 53 is Hill.
There's been a report over there behind play.
Yes.
It was off camera. Ironmonger with all the dice. Troy. Brockhurst marked on that occasion by Brown.
Well, this is on behind play. Wielden's been reported, and there's a few want to go on with it.
It's a decent old dish up in the middle, just clearing itself up now. Geelong leading by 10 points. They led by 5 at quarter time. That's pretty close. And a goal. Line and picked up by Wielden, who's already kicked 2 goals himself, doing battle with Gurry.
And pretty hot out there between Wielden and his opponent. Oof. And Wielden is still going on with the business. He's already in the book.
It's all duck on that dinner for Wielden, it looks like at the moment.
It's certainly not the place to be throwing them, but there's not many people watching today, is there? No?
Really?
Goodness me.
How many witnesses up there on Monday night, you reckon? Oh, Ironmonger wins a very good tap, and a lightning hand pass comes out to Thornton. Thornton steadies, goes for goal. 2 against 2 here. Scott pretty well placed. Comes to the front of the pack. Conlon runs onto it and goals.
Well, is he not ever the opportunist, Michael Conlon? Good contest there in the forward again from Scott. And some lightning work up on the 50-metre line, allowing Harris to kick the ball forward there. At Thornton, should I say, not Leon Harris. Good contest here by Scott, just get the players out there. And Conlon running from the right hand of screen, just an easy goal for Michael Conlon, again breaking away from Marty Christensen.
Wielden doesn't mind it, does he? He's just poleaxed his opponent there, and that... Well, we'll have to have eyes in the back of our heads here if this develops. 17-point lead to Geelong. 16 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Ironmonger fingers to it. Can they clear it out of the centre? Not quite this time. Although Woods does get a little kick out of there. Back to Geelong's forward line. Comes off hands. Chance for Hinkley. Just outside 50. Hooks over his shoulder. Good punch by Bolson out of defence. Harris. Now Thornton. Just beats the tackle. No great distance with his kick. Peter Baldwin for Geelong. The hand pass to Malakellus. In a hurry down towards the forward pocket. Hill. Over his head. Still a chance for the Cats. Now they might have lost it through the weight of numbers. Oh, Gary Cameron. Slippery as an eel, but he puts the kick out of bounds.
Free kick to Fitzroy just up from the back pocket. We've got 15.25 minutes left in the second term. Geelong leading by 5 points at quarter time. And a thriller in the under-19s. Currently the difference 10 points. Crowd building up all the time for the big one between Hawthorn and Geelong. Kick of Phillips was well smothered. And we'll see a throw in about 50 metres from goal. .39 plays 29. Alderdice taps it down. Morgan on the end of a hand pass. And that will bounce just inside the line in front of Brown, who kicked the last goal for the Cats. And Darren Morgan, though, has done a lot of damage. 13 kicks and 2 hand passes so far, plus 3 goals and 2 marks. That's not half time. Alderdice with Ironmonger. A chance for Lupson now. It's pretty heavy shepherding behind play from Brockhurst. Lupson runs his full distance, then just about pulls up as he kicks the ball. And Harris, strong gutsy mark, read that pretty well. A little kick to Bolton, who unloads with a spiral punt kick. That travels about 60 metres. That was an excellent kick. Unfortunately for Fitzroy, there's no one there to take advantage of it. And Geelong a little bit better around the flanks. This is Gribble. Ironmonger. Good block with the body. Cameron fires out the hand pass, picked up by Mansfield, then turn on to Hill, who has a shot at goal. That's pretty good, and it's through. With 13.25 minutes left before half-time.
Geelong going forward again, but whistle, and it'll be a Geelong free kick to be taken by Tony Malakellus just behind the centre circle. Finds Morgan on his own. Well, how could you leave him that far in the clear? Now looks as though Jason Baldwin might have picked him up. I reckon he's probably about his third opponent. But Morgan continues to create havoc. Short pass. Cameron works to the front. Should have taken the mark. It slips through his hands and comes to the back. Umbers on the turn. No, it was Hinkley. And the kick by Hinkley offline for a behind.
Yes, Anthony Woods has been moved off Morgan. He's now picking up Gary Phillips.
46 plays 29. 17-point lead to the Cats as Brockhurst brings the ball into play. Good scouting of the pack by Phillips. Gets the hand pass back to teammate Mansfield. Not far out of goal again. Waterson took a while to pick it up. Kick out of defence. Osborne gets to the front of Cole. Here's Morgan again, going for number 4. Impossible angle. Instead he passes. That's good play. Umbers in the chop. But it comes down to Thornton out of defence. And it was a good kick eventually, and marked by Woods at halfback. Anthony Woods, 20-year-old, over the centre circle for Strooper. He worked himself under the ball, and Rogers took the mark. Malcolm Blight saw something of Andrew Rogers when he was at Woodville. He got him this season from Essendon. That's clever play on centre wing. Up to Strooper, who has a break on Rogers now. The hand pass in. Bit of space here for Leon Harris. He can go all the way into about 40 metres and kick for goal. It's not a bad kick, but just away to the right. Disappointing finish.
Geelong maintaining their advantage. 7-4 to 4-6. 16 points. McCrabb goes to the outer side. The target is Christensen. Doesn't let him down. And Christensen with a paddock to move in out there. And a couple more bounces. Nice balk. Must have run about 50 metres there with little opposition. Up towards full forward. The Troy defence certainly under plenty of pressure at the moment. As the ball hustled back towards midfield. 3-on-1 in favour of Fitzroy. It's driven away by Woods. Woods' kick up towards half forward. Now Conlon loves a goal, should get one from there. 15 metres out, and Conlon dobs it.
There's some Mickey Collins.
Mountains upon mountains of discard.
Was Mickey Conlon's second goal. Wielden also has 2 for Fitzroy as the Lions try to stay in touch with Geelong. 10 3/4 minutes left. Cameron comes out with the ball. Going to be a Cats free kick though. Played to Darren Troy. Troy at centre field. Beautiful kick. Just inside 50. A chance for Morgan again. As Drew said, he's cutting them to ribbons down there. That was a good tackle. It will come back to Brown. Brushes the tackle from Brockhurst. Not a good kick off the boot. Strooper got the front position. A chance for Fitzroy through the agency of Bunn. He goes for the boundary line, and we'll see a throw in at Fitzroy's or Geelong's left half forward flank. He is man of the match so far. Morgan 17 possessions. So the boys on the bench for Fitzroy decide to do with that. Alderdice contesting with Ironmonger. Alderdice actually got that one down. Cole gets caught. Is it a free kick? It's going to be a bounce.
Truella's gone to centre half forward for Fitzroy. Strooper back into defence.
Yes, and Brad Edwards is off the ground, and he's on the bench at the moment with Stuart Cameron.
From the ball up, Cole gets a hand to it. Brockhurst, a hand pass away. Gains some territory. There's Peter Baldwin for Geelong. His hand pass infield. Is that holding it or too high? The umpire says you're holding it. Fitzroy's free kick. Taken quickly by Leon Harris. Not a bad kick either. Outside half forward is Truella. Low kick to the forward line. Scott in front. Bumped off it by McCrabb. But Fitzroy kept on going. A little toe poke by Truella comes out for Conlon, but he lost his footing at the last moment. Taken by Paycor of the Cats. Out of defence towards centre wing. And Mark paid to Phillips. Free kick.
Free kick.
Half-back flank for the Cats. Up towards centre wing. Brown. Long way down from the forward line. It comes off him. And Hinkley. No, sorry, that was Mansfield. And the ball goes out of play up on half-forward flank for Geelong. Well, 10 points the difference after Fitzroy made a little bit of a comeback in the last few minutes. 7-4 Geelong. 5 goals, 6 Fitzroy. 8.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Ironmonger clean possession, but couldn't find a teammate. Troy. High kick inside 50. And a good mark charging at that ball. And the mark taken in there by Walker. Back to centre wing. Rogers. A bit scrappy at the moment. Fierce tackling going on. Crumbs come out to Alderdice. Centering kick. Oh, huge climb by Hinkley, but he couldn't come down with the mark. Lupson at the back for Fitzroy. Kicks to open spaces. Race on here between Troy and Harris. Harris leads at the moment. Just behind centre wing. Looking for Conlon up towards half forward. Good mark. Or did he take it? Play on, said the umpire, and it's gone out of play and we'll have a throw in.
Yes, Roddy took it.
Yeah, the momentum he had in taking that attempted mark Peter carried him over the line. The ball spilled free.
Osborne and Cole do the ruck work, knocked down by Osborne. Morgan gets met pretty solidly. Troy, long hand pass. The Cats are away again through Rogers. Up towards half forward. Well, that could have been a free kick almost to Malacallis. That could have been another one. Thornton holding his face. Malacallis gets bumped off it again. Opportunity for Hinkley, very close to the boundary line. Excellent hand pass. Will it be a goal? Snapshot by Mansfield is through. There we go. John Ironmonger, in fact, with under 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Troy need a couple of goals to stay in touch. Scott outnumbered and outmaneuvered at half forward. And here's a chance for Conlon again. He does give a hand pass. I have to retract that, what I said before. It was tongue-in-cheek, of course. Woods. And the mark is taken down there by Wielden, who had his name, I believe, go into a book earlier after he lost a little bit of control. Kicked a couple of goals over Fitzroy, including the first one of the match. They badly need one here. Within kicking distance, 35 out. Dropped the ball well onto the boot. And a goal.
It should just prove to Wielden that he just concentrates on playing football and getting the ball. He can play and finished off very well. And while he was taking that kick at goal, Richard Umbers came off the ground for Geelong, and coming onto the ground for a first appearance today is Tim Burke. He's gone straight into the ruck, replacing Craig Alderdice, who's going up into the full forward area.
He's had a great battle with Ironmonger. Ironmonger's strength, obviously, the telling factor so far. There's Wielden, who in the reserves during the year had one match, kicked 9 goals. He was promptly promoted the next game to the seniors. So 3 goals to Wielden for Troy, staying in touch. Troy and Harris. Troy wins out. Up towards half forward, missed by Osborne. Backup support though for Brockhurst. Over the head of Rogers, he might get a second chance here to do something with it. Fires out a long hand pass. Player down there was covered, breaking away from Fitzroy as Marku. The umpire in the meantime has found a free kick. It'll go Geelong's way.
Holding on there, Peter.
Down is Peter Baldwin. Burke. Pushes that one out to Ironmonger. It's very much like his brother. Was you saying yesterday, Joe, he's a centimetre taller or centimetres short? I'm not quite sure.
It's 200 to 199. The younger brother is just a bit taller.
Thank you. It's a bit like the Rental brothers at Fitzroy. Troy again, solid-looking customer. Strooper to get the bounce that he would have wanted. He might get a second chance here. Now he gets another shocker. That might be a free kick for in the back.
Yes, it is, Peter.
I would hope it was. It'll be taken by Hinckley, who really gave an excellent hand pass to Mansfield that resulted in the previous goal. He's got a chance to bring one up himself.
Came to Fitzroy as a 17-year-old from Camperdown. Never really settled into city life and went back to play in the country. Now Geelong have got him. I suppose that still constitutes being in the country. I shouldn't say that.
Speak of D. Morgan.
Well, here's Morgan again. And he's already kicked 3. Man on the mark. About 40 metres from goal. This for number 4. Well, that just fell over the line. Was it straight? Yes. Funny looking kick.
It certainly was, Joe. Off the boot, he really jabbed at it, just allowing him to carry the ball over the line in a low trajectory. Took it just over the heads of the players, who seemed to not be too concerned about how low that ball was travelling. You see it again. He just draws his left foot back a bit and just pokes at it. The ball just carried through. Funny, deceived everyone. And what a big day he's had so far. 16 kicks, 3 handballs, 2 free kicks and 4 goals. 1 tackle. It's a very busy day.
Not half time.
16-point lead to Geelong. And Tim Burke gets a big thump out of the middle, beating Ironmonger for a change. But it goes to Brockhurst. His kick to the forward line for Fitzroy. Cole beat a tackle. Hand pass was astray. Osborne puts the hand pass out in front of teammate Harris. But he's shepherded off the ball. Gathered by Wielden outside 50. A centering kick. Not a bad build-up here for Fitzroy. If he can gather the ball here, which he does. Marku goes for goal. He's got the carry. He has, but offline or behind. Andrew Marku. Much like his older brother Alex. Got about as much hair. Kick in by Austin McCrabb. Burke flies for the mark, can't take it. Comes to the back of the pack. Geelong move forward again towards half forward. Malakellis gets rid of his opponent. Brown held off it by Brockhurst. Brockhurst's hand pass is good to Thornton. 15 points behind Fitzroy. Thornton's kick to half forward, right onto the chest of Truella. Might have been a fraction lucky.
I think he's looking for Michael Collin there, Drew, but the kick just falling short as you called it.
Truella, Fitzroy's reserves best and fairest winner last 2 seasons. Kicks from outside 50. A beautiful looking kick. It's made it.
That is an excellent kick from Mark Truella. I mean, it's a long way out, 60 metres. It's a good day for kicking goals. There's not much influence coming from the breeze. The conditions are beautiful for football. And Mark Truella has played 1 senior game this season for a total of 12. Received the ball here from Thornton. As I said, the kick actually was meant for Michael Collin, who was leading behind Truella, but Truella in the right position and a fine kick.
And Ross Thornton's had 13 possessions so far, including 10 kicks. Truella, his first goal, 5 kicks and 1 hand pass. Fitzroy staying in touch in the reserves. They just can't get that extra couple of goals to give them the lead once more. Rogers getting underneath the ball. It's taken out of it, but the ball's still there. Rogers has time to measure the pass down towards left half forward. And racing for it over there is Hill, who's already kicked 1 goal. His opponent, Bunn. And it'll be a boundary throw in. Left half forward flank with the Cats. We've got 2.5 minutes before half time. Ironmonger now has to do battle with Burke. That's Tim Burke. A chance for Baldwin to pick the ball up. Back towards centre field. Fisted clear of the pack. Geelong players at the fall of the ball. Good tackle though by Brockhurst. Although I suppose it could be argued that Mansfield ran into him. We're going to see a bounce inside the square. 2 minutes before the siren. Fitzroy would like to get a goal before it sounds. Burke to Morgan. Morgan onto that trusty left foot, and he can kick it a long way. Alderdice got a mile in the air. The crumbs for Cameron, who got taken high. He might have been over the line. That was Hinkley having a shot at goal. He's missed it. Only one behind. So a further point to the Cats to make the difference now 10 points, 9-5 to 7-7. Ross Thornton. The point was argued earlier whether he'll be continuing next year with the likes of, Conlon's not, but Leon Harris. Might be seeing him for the last time as well. Ironmonger, a one-hander, and then a juggle. He gets the hand pass away, ultimately to Baldwin. Clock ticking down towards half-time. That's a Gary Ablett mark, that one, dragged in by Trewella. I wonder if we'll see any of those this afternoon. Trewella, who kicked the last goal, 70 metres out, won't score from there. Good kick nonetheless. Scott just nudged his opponent out. Almost given away the free kick. Conlon almost got taken out of it again. Gets ridden into the ground by McCrabb. Arguably a free kick. Mickey would be telling the umpire that. Scott, good hand pass back to Conlon. The ball doesn't bounce kindly for him. Trying to beat three of them. Well played from Conlon, but just the numbers were there to Geelong. And the ball will be out of bounds. Fitzroy's left forward pocket with less than a minute to go before half-time.
Made a bit of a difference with Trewella going onto the forward line for the Lions. It's 10 points the difference now. Scott, palm down, is intercepted by Troy. Morgan to Malakellis. Little kick over the top, and Cole takes the mark. Centre half back for the Cats. Under half a minute remaining to half-time. Zigzagging out of defence across to Christensen. Solid shepherd off the ball by McCrabb. Christensen's kick to half forward. Now Fitzroy's chance. Malakellis once more. Ironmonger back there. Cameron applying a tackle. Oh, but the tackle is beautifully slipped. And coming out of that is Waterson. And the siren sounds for half-time. A 10-point lead to Geelong, 9-5 to 7-7.
Final, and Geelong leading by 10 points after they led by 10 at quarter time. They kicked 6-2 in that quarter to 5-3. Morgan has 4 goals for Geelong. Wheeldon has 3 goals for Fitzroy. Paul Couch during the week won football's highest honour when at the 62nd presentation of the Brownlow medal he won by 2 votes from the former winner John Platten of Hawthorn. And so Paul Couch certainly this afternoon is going to be a thorn in the side of the Hawks.
Geelong's Paul Couch didn't turn up for work, Jude Scott. From the side, teammate Shane Hamilton. Also, another youngster, Essendon's Kieran Spawn. But guess who stole the show? You guessed it, Gary Ablett.
Towards the pocket, over the top. Guess who? Kicks in towards half forward, Ablett.
And the winner this week is Geelong's very own Gary Ablett. And this mark will qualify.
Troy, the opportunity to get the thoughts of Ross Glendinning on the 2 quarters played so far.
Yes, Peter, well, both sides in the first quarter, there was a lot of fumbling, as you would expect in a pressure game like this. Fitzroy having played 3 grand finals virtually to get to this grand final, and their players would be fairly tired, whereas Geelong only played 2 games to reach the final. It's really been the more senior players on both sides, Peter, who have had the influence on this game, particularly Morgan from Geelong, who's had plenty of stats, kicked 4 goals. Michael Conlon 2 goals for Fitzroy, and Darren Wheeldon 3. Statistically, it's a very close game, as you can see there. Both kicks and handballs fairly close, and the hit-outs right down the bottom of the page there, just favouring John Ironmonger with his height and strength. He's been up against Craig Alderdice and now Tim Burke. I think he should play the rest of the game.
What about Darren Morgan? How can they...
Michael Conlon, you see there, has broken away from Marty Christensen on a number of occasions to kick his 2 goals.
2 goals to Conlon, 3 to Wheeldon. This was an excellent goal. Set up initially by Hinkley hand pass. It was kicked through by Mansfield. So the Cats' work up forward has been...
Could go either way. I tried to get into the Geelong rooms. They're pretty tight-lipped in there, but in the Fitzroy rooms there was a lot of senior players. There was Rod Austin, the senior coach, and obviously Robert Shaw, really revving them up. They didn't have any rest. They're keyed up. They're ready to do well. And also the thing that he reminded them is they are coming from 5th spot, so it's going to be a great effort if they can win the grand final. They are keyed up, and Fitzroy will really give it a shake, but it'll go down to the wire.
Right, thank you, Michael. Michael, while you're there, the surface, we saw a lot of players slipping over. Were they wearing moulded sole boots, or is the ground very lush?
Well, a lot of players are under the impression that the surface is fantastic, and it is, but they've cut the grass and there's just a little bit of moisture on it, and that's why they're slipping. I did notice a lot of the players wearing moulded stops. I think it was brought up in the commentary. Some players at half-time in the Fitzroy rooms did change their boots under instruction.
OK, yeah, I'm not surprised, especially over here on the members' wing, Ross.
Yes, it's this time of year, Peter, players love to get out of their longer stops, which they wear during the heavier winter period, and get into some softer, more comfortable moulded sole boots is always something players look forward to. But on this occasion, there are some spots around the ground which are a bit soft, as Michael mentioned, a bit of moisture coming through. But that centre area, in fact, goal to goal line, the centre area is quite firm, so very difficult to get the right mix.
OK, so players taking up their positions now for the resumption of play. 10 points the difference, 7-7 to 9-5. Fitzroy, the odds against them, mathematically at least, because they did come from 5th spot. And I think you mentioned earlier, Drew, that a flag has only been won on one occasion, not in the seniors, but it was in the under-19s, I think you said.
Fitzroy did it in the under-19s in 1982. The only team in any grade in the VFL to win from the elimination final.
Third quarter of the reserves grand final for 1989. 10 points the difference. Once again, John Ironmonger carrying the Fitzroy rucks. Alderdice with a big leap, though, gets the first punch away. The Lions trying to work the ball further forward. This is Baldwin on centre wing. That patch of turf there is probably the softest on the MCG. We've seen a few players have their feet come from underneath them there. Probably more than just the one occasion. So Ironmonger and Alderdice, they had a titanic struggle in the first half before Tim Burke came on to relieve Alderdice late in the second quarter. Trying to spin out for Fitzroy there was Waterson. Had much success. Here's the man of the match, Darren Morgan. The umpire has found a free kick. It will be brought back to Morgan.
Yes, a high tackle there, and he's now actually been picked up by Dean Upson. Peter.
What's that, 3 or 4 opponents?
Well, it's getting close to 4 now. They changed them very quickly, I can assure you.
Baldwin. 2 Baldwins on the ground. The other from Fitzroy is number 32. That's a beautiful kick. Look at that. A good 55 metres. 2 Geelong players fly. Brown comes off his hands and picked up by Harris. Late tackle down there by Mansfield, and the mark for Fitzroy has been claimed by Woods. Woods at the left half-back flank for Fitzroy. Favours the outer side. The mark taken by Balzan. Over it goes to Brockhurst. Brockhurst kicked down towards the centre wing position. This is Rogers, seemingly with plenty of time. He's kicked that very high in the air. Ironmonger with a late punch away. That could almost be holding the ball. Ringside with the Rastlers it was. A throw by Ironmonger, the biggest and I dare say heaviest man on the ground. Certainly unloaded his opponent in no uncertain terms. Thornton, one of the last up. He's been a good player for Fitzroy. 13 possessions so far, 10 kicks. The Sun almost tries to break through here at the MCG. Alderdice gets the run at it. Ironmonger gets the punch. Troy hits it back. A chance for the Cats through Phillips. He gets ridden into the ground. That's pretty well holding the ball. That's the umpire paid here.
Yes, and Darren Troy really, instead of hitting that ball back towards goal, could have grabbed it, broken away, and got a kick.
Woods to take the free kick.
Kick by Woods. Inside half forward. Wheeled it up very high. Couldn't take the mark. Crab over there. Forces the ball up. 10 points the margin. Geelong in front.
Couldn't have got a better day, Drew, weather-wise.
No, it's absolutely perfect. Light breeze just about going straight across the ground, but probably wouldn't be feeling too much of it down there. Just perfect for football, which is a good omen for the seniors. If they can kick 51 goals between them again and have just about a kick the difference, what a game that seniors will be. Peter Baldwin for Geelong. Back to centre wing, but Graham Osborne takes the mark.
Fitzroy also brought Brad Edwards back onto the ground. He's now playing centre half back again.
Lead by Conlon. Couldn't quite take the mark. He's lost about 25 metres with this one. Hill. High hand pass to Gary Cameron. Put him under the hammer. Osborne tried to crash his way through and is holding the ball.
Good tackle by Cole there. He took on Osborne, who try to charge through, a bit of daylight.
And Michael Cole runs around the man on the mark. Congested forward line. Oh, brilliant! What a mark!
At the desk.
A sensational mark.
Great to see players take marks like that, Drew, and they just take it one grab. Beautiful mark, that.
Paul Brown, a 20-year-old from Geelong's former area, Echuca. And it deserves a goal, that mark. And a beautiful kick. Might have just got away to the left a bit. And through for a behind. Well, if Ablett and Co can emulate that in the seniors, what an afternoon we're in for. Margin 11 points now in favour of the Cats. Kick in towards the outer side. Big pack. No mark taken. Off the ground by Woods. Up to centre half forward. Wheeldon behind. Comes out with it. Conlon crashes his way through. Loses control of it. Spills to Rogers. Andrew Rogers out of defence. Over to Peter Baldwin. Baldwin's kick towards centre wing is well delivered. And the mark taken by Troy. Christensen gives him a run inside. Left his opponent for dead. There's Conlon. Christensen inside half forward with Mark Ironmonger in defence.
Strong play.
Juggled. He's a strong player, isn't he? You saw him dump a player about 2 or 3 minutes back. Like it was at the rest there. Osborne. He got penalised for holding the ball just a minute or so back. That's a bad pass, if you could call it a pass. Malakelis towards the Geelong half-forward line. Brown might have pushed his opponent in the back. The umpire says, though, it will be a ball up about 40 metres out from goal. Just over 20 minutes remaining in the third term. 39 is Hinkley. 60 plays 49 is the score. Geelong pretty well in command most of the match, although Fitzroy did get the first goal through Wheeldon after a bad pass from Morgan, but that's about the only mistake Morgan's made all day. Osborne's kick towards the centre wing position, missed by Lupson. A chance for Geelong. The ball was booted back for them by Mansfield. Now it comes to Cole. Kick is off target though, and in fact bounces out on the full. This is Brad Edwards. Oh, going behind was Balls in, but he missed it. And the mark is taken for the Cats by Phillips. He's a fair way from goal. Decides to go for the short pass. Cole knocked away by Osborne. Oh, he's left without it. And gets ridden into the ground by Phillips. Certainly had his opportunities there. Strooper was doing the shepherding, but all to no avail. Cats seemingly have their measure at the moment. Alderdice wrestling with Ironmonger. I don't think that's his ploy. Ironmonger has got the strength. Umbers to Cameron. Outside 50, but only just. A high trajectory kick in front is Brockhurst. Thornton. One of Fitzroy's, no, it wasn't Thornton, actually, it was Leon Harris. As they experienced players, with the same would apply. 9-6 to 7-7. Left forward pocket. Alderdice over the top. Down it comes to Bunn. Couldn't do much with it. Finally, the hand pass comes out in the direction of Hill. Got a chance to do something with it. The umpire says no. There's going to be a free kick. In fact, that's a 50-metre penalty to Fitzroy. The second one we've seen so far. The mark will be round about the centre wing position.
The Geelong player there thought it was a free kick to his teammate.
In fact, it was to the opposition. And the kick will now be taken on the centre wing. It's a long kick by Bunn.
To half forward, and defensive mark taken for the Cats by Baldwin. High over the wing. Umbers, who left the ground for a moment. It looked as though there might have been a problem with his jaw at quarter time. Spent most of the second quarter on the bench. Now back. Crumbs come to Morgan again, who had 21 possessions in the first half in a brilliant display. Short pass to Cole. Michael Cole. His twin brother left Geelong and went to Melbourne a few years ago. To centre half forward. Ironmonger punches from behind. Nest of players. Troy back into a congested pack. Well, the player looks as though he's trying to hand pass. The umpire didn't agree with him and has pinged him for holding the ball. And it'll be a Geelong free kick to go to Umbers.
Dean Lupson want to be careful. The emergency umpires come out and speak to him a couple of occasions. He's trying to upset a few of the Geelong players. He should just concentrate on playing on Darren Morgan.
Brown a good lead, and so he's shown us his array in this quarter. A high mark and a big pack, and a mark on the chest from a good lead. Geelong lead by 11 points. Brown going for goal number 2. 45 metres out, and he's roasted that umpire and through for a goal.
Fitzroy with the job ahead of it. Baldwin, actually the two Baldwins clashed there. Out it comes to Allardyce. Towards half forward for Geelong. Malakalis got underneath the ball. Harris couldn't take the mark. Plenty of weight being used in the packs. Finally it is Baldwin. Right on 50. Gets around Edwards with the kick. Land just about off the square. And rushed through for one behind. So a further point to the Cats. Baldwin looking a little the worse for wear, making the difference now 3 goals even. 10-7 to 7-7. Cats leading at both changes so far by 5 and 10 points respectively. Leon Harris goes to the outer side. Tried for Baldwin, couldn't find him. Chance down there for Hinkley, former Fitzroy player. The umpire has given a free kick to Fitzroy. Kick taken by Baldwin. Rogers goes the spoil, did that well. Strooper gets caught with the blind, in fact nearly threw it. Good hip and shoulder by Rogers. At least I thought it was a hip and shoulder.
Sorry, but it was deemed too high.
So Woods with the free kick. A little groggy as he took it. As the bird takes off, Allardyce got pretty high, nearly as high as the bird actually. The snapshotted goal is off target. And one behind. For the Roy's by Truella. 10-7 to 7-8. 67 to 50. 17 points the difference in the third term. With under 16 minutes left. Cramp to do the kicking in. CG filling up pretty rapidly now as the hour draws near for the big one. Umpires a free kick. Behind play, will that be stopped as the Geelong player goes down? It was Morgan. He's still down actually.
Wheeldon's going to be reported by the emergency
umpire coming out to report him. Morgan still on all fours. Play continues. Troy, he has gone again it looks like. I think you predicted that, Drew. The umpire gives a free kick, then calls play on. And here's a chance for Malakalis to wrap this one right up. 5 metres out and he puts it through for his first goal. And the Cats seemingly with plenty in reserve at the moment. Troy. Gets taken out of it beautifully by Osborne. Rogers, things becoming a little bit willing out there. Troy gets boot the ball again. Oh, Geelong player's just gone down. Cameron. Plenty happening as Drew said off the ball. And Cameron is still down. As the mark is taken from Fitzroy by Strooper. A nice ball. Up towards McCrab in front of Scott.
Cameron is a very sick boy. Robert Bolson let him know he's around.
Not surprised.
Bolson's in the book as well.
Yep. As I said, I'm not surprised. Christensen. It's going to be a busy tribunal. Long kick by Marty Christensen. That will bounce inside and then over the line. Cameron being carried off. Christensen. Well, what did I do?
To be replaced by Andrew Gribble. And again, I just emphasise the point of the Fitzroy players playing the man. If they were as aggressive to the ball, they'd be playing a lot better.
29 points. Spoken like a true Brownlow medalist. Baldwin. A hurried hand pass and a knock-on comes in the direction of Osborne. Troy lined him up, but missed him. He gets the hand pass back. And down he goes. Oh,
Lupson again. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
That will be downfield anyway. The kick is taken for Geelong and will be by Mansfield.
They want to go on with it here.
And Peter, that was a perfectly good hip and shoulder coming from Troy. There was nothing in it at all. It was a good contest. He and Osborne have been at it all day. And now, because of Lupson's late altercation with Troy,
he's a fiery customer, Lupson.
Play goes on. There's a goal kick.
A goal. Best way to answer that.
And it's done by Dennis Paycor, under-19s player, who just decided to play football. Well done, son. And that's going to give, I would believe, Geelong decided edge here. 35-point lead at this stage of the game.
Let's go down to Michael Roberts.
Not really knowing what's going on.
What's happening down there, Michael?
Gary Cameron is got his hands, head in his hands. He's a very sick boy. He couldn't walk off the ground. He's been dry reaching, and I can see him not coming back on the ground after that.
There'll be quite a few reports. The umpires have taken a number of numbers, if we could put it that way, but the Cats are going on with the ball game, and that's the best way to answer those sort of tactics. Fine mark. And he's a long way out from goal. Gribble has gone for a short pass consequently, and picked up for the Cats down there by Hinkley. Hand pass inboard is ineffective, and the Fitzroy defence through Bunn run the ball over the boundary line. We'll see a throw in about 3 metres from the behind post.
Yes, the Cats coming up with the best answer this quarter, answering the aggression. They've kicked 4 goals 2-1 behind in this quarter to stretch a 10-point lead, now out to 35 points. And they're on the forward line again. Brown charges at this one, losing ground out towards the 50-metre line, dodges a tackle, hoists it high towards the goal square. Not a bad kick, and a climb almost a mark. Umbers goes on with it, can't get boot to ball. Was it a trip? He gets boot to ball, and well, it's still in the field of play and punched out of play for a throw-in. Might have been a bit unlucky not to get a free. So a few players showing the battle scars from this reserves grand final. It comes down from Ironmonger. Morgan, who will switch the forward pocket after being injured in a reportable incident there. Now Fitzroy moving forward. Trewella. He is kicked up towards full forward. Mark Scott. Bit slow on the turn, but not a bad kick. Thornton marks in front.
And while that was happening, Drew, Tim Burke's warming up, but should I say, for Fitzroy. David's Trooper's come off, and he's been replaced by Stuart Cameron, who's damaged his knee last week as Fitzroy's best player in the preliminary final. There's some doubt about him playing, but he's actually now on the ground, and David's Trooper's had a very quiet day being replaced.
Boy, did Fitzroy need this goal here from Ross Thornton, the veteran. Played most of his football in the back pocket. Find out what he's like on the forward line. And that's what he's like on the forward line. He's missed to the right.
It's his third behind too, Drew. And I would venture to say not one of those shots at goal really were all that difficult.
34 points the difference. Cole just up from the back pocket. Under 9 minutes remaining in the quarter. It's been a good one for Geelong. Certainly an eventful one. Leon Harris takes the crumbs. Tackled by Christensen, ineffective onto Conlon. Chase being given there by Phillips. The ball up towards, and in fact inside 50, and the mark will be paid to Fitzroy.
So that's Cameron Pitter. He's just come on, so perhaps he can give them some life that they desperately need.
See how he kicks. He'll be kicking from right on the 50-metre line or thereabouts. Smidge inside. 49 metres to the goal from there, and that will be rushed through off the hands of Rogers ultimately. And one behind. And Fitzroy badly need goals. They need probably 3 before three-quarter time without Geelong scoring to give them some sort of a chance. 33 points the difference. The attrition rate has been high, hasn't it? And the umpires have been busy. Austin McCrabb to the outer side. Good kick by the Geelong fullback. 2-on-1 in favour of the Cats out there. Christensen should have the pace, and in fact has got to beat Ironmonger, who lumbers after him. I tell you what, he's not doing a bad job, Ironmonger. Look at that. Great stuff by the big fellow. Conlon gets the rebound. Picked up by Bunn, short of left centre wing. Centering kick. Cameron couldn't take the mark. He's been into the play twice now since he came off the bench. Cole, oh, the boot's gone almost as far as the ball. And the Cats can make something of this. Baldwin. Will he get around Lupson? He can. He'd want to. Lupson will line him up. It's been pretty rugged. This is Morgan. He's been effective. 5 goals for Darren Morgan. 2.
Fitzroy go forward through Graham Osborne, but he lost it in a good tackle. Spills to Delina. Still Carl Delina. Breaks a tackle. Drives it to full forward. Not a bad kick. Might be shepherded through. It is for a goal.
Well, it's fairly obvious it's a much-needed goal to Fitzroy. And Carl Delina's had a fairly quiet day. He's only had a couple of kicks and a couple of handballs, and for a rover, that's not good enough. He did spend some time on the bench in the second quarter, having had a very quiet first quarter. Only had 1 handball, and I'm sure they were looking to him and Leon Harris to give him some spark. Leon Harris, as usual, has worked hard, but Carl Delina, perhaps his first effective play of the day.
Well, they really needed that, Fitzroy. Their first goal for the quarter. Ironmonger charges in, wins another hit out, and takes clean possession. Drives it back to full forward again. Scott behind McCrabb. And pass back up to Scott. Ridden into the ground by McCrabb. But umpire Chris Mitchell comes in and is going to ball it up out towards the forward pocket. 91 plays 58. was their first goal since time on in the second quarter. Lupson back to the goal square. Mark dropped at the back. Chance for Fitzroy. And it's a snap for goal and goes through for a goal of Marcoux. The Lions getting the last two. And maybe they put the rough stuff behind them. They get on with playing football. Thornton's kick marked by Cole. He wanted to go on with it. Paycor, a hand pass almost to himself. Alderdice gets it out to Christensen. And now the Cats on the run again. This is the team that had a percentage of 154 during the season. Malakalis from 50. Great kick to Brown. And Brown marks in front.
Yeah, the perfect pass from that position, Drew. No, he couldn't score a goal from there. If he did, it would have been a freak one. And pass well to Brown as we see a change being made by Fitzroy. Struber comes back onto the ground, and coming off is Stuart Cameron.
They didn't give Cameron long on the field.
Yeah, they might have been concerned about his knee, but even so.
Here's Brown for goal. It's close. Offline.
One behind. He's kicked 2 goals so far. Dennis Davey, the Geelong coach, write a picture. 92-64 reads the scoreboard. We've got under 5 minutes remaining in this quarter. Man with the ball is Brockhurst. He's gone towards the outer side. Ryan Munger was the flyer. Didn't come down with the ball. Play on call from the umpire. And 3 Geelong players tackling 1 Fitzroy. It's about the size of the game at the moment. Harris, good hip and shoulder from the Fitzroy veteran. And the Lions, can they get out of trouble here? Ball was finally booted away for them by Woods, Troy and Osborne. Brockhurst at left centre wing. Here's a whistle on play.
Yeah, it's got to go back to Graham Osborne, who got infringed in the back, Peter, and the umpire had called that infringement before the Fitzroy players had played on.
And Osborne, perhaps the lesser known of the 2 brothers. Richard, of course, having a knee reconstruction, will be out for some time. Christensen. Oh, that went straight out of bounds. What do you call that? So a boundary throw it on centre wing. As the Cats with a pretty useful lead in the latter stages of the 3rd quarter. 14-8 to 9-10, all the dice. And Munger on the shoulder, he says. Ryan Munger takes the kick rather expeditiously up towards full forward. Flyer was Gurry, socket away by Cole. Baldwin gives the hand pass out, flicked on by the Cats. Paycor up towards full forward, half forward. Now this is Brown, who took a screamer earlier in this quarter. It really was a gem. Certainly mark of the day stuff. And was that touched by anybody? It won't matter. It's not going through for a major score anyway. And they're further behind to Geelong. Coming up with 3.5 minutes to go in the term. 14-9 to 9-10. Ball back into play. Again, it's Brockhurst at the right half-back flank. Kicks the ball into space on centre wing. Finds Harris. Nearly had his head taken off. Gives the hand pass out. It's taken away by Trewella. Trewella's kick inside 50. Looking for Mark Scott. Almost a juggled grab. Couldn't take it. The Cats defence working overtime and working well. This is Gurry as the sun peeps through out towards the practice wicket area, and this is Paycor again. Having a couple of bounces, no one really making much of an effort to chase him. And Paycor, a long kick to right half forward and a strong grab taken by Alderdice. That's his forte. Ryan Munger's done better, I guess, at the throw-ins and bounces. Alderdice with 2 goals against his name. A chance to make it 3 if he can kick it long. Has had senior experience, Craig Alderdice, right on 50. That'll go pretty close. In fact, he might have dobbed it. 3 goals.
Geelong 6 goals to 2 in this quarter, and look as though they might have the reserves wrapped up. It will be a remarkable performance because they've come from 10th on the ladder last year, Geelong reserves, into a grand final and looked like they might win it. Troy, centering kick is good for Malakalis. He's right in front on 50. Played on when he mightn't have. He's barreled in the tackle. Umpire says play on. Flip back to Morgan. What a hand pass to Cole. Right in front, and Cole should have kicked it but missed.
Surely, Drew, that was a free kick to Malakalis. I mean, very well he had the ball, but he was ridden right into the ground. I mean, he was infringed in the back. And the umpires seem to let that go a lot these days.
Kick in by Jason Baldwin. Started on the wing, now kicking in. He bounces up towards the wing. Alderdice first back there. Off the left boot. To centre half forward. Comes through the pack. Bolson. Wide with his hand pass. Brockhurst finds Bolson again. Now Ironmonger a chance, but Strooper comes over the top to take the mark. David Strooper to half forward. Truella's there. Crunch down. Spills to Conlon. Conlon looking for a hand pass. Look at that. Out to Marcoux, who kicks his second for the quarter.
And that really was well played by Michael Conlon. He read that beautifully in the contest between McCrabb and Scott. And Christensen elected to stay in front of the pack. Conlon went round to the left-hand side and the ball spilled free over the back. He had a good run onto it and was looking for the handball. You see here, Scott, ball coming free. Left-hand side was Conlon. Christensen was in front. And as Drew mentioned, a good goal there to Marcoux, his second.
Looks as though Sandringham might be a hand-passing team next year.
Very team-oriented.
Set up by Condon, 5 goals, still the difference. Fitzroy just staying within striking range from a standing start. Ironmonger up to Scott, couldn't take it. Christensen and Conlon. That might be over the boundary line on the full. In fact, it is before Phillips can get there. So it'll be a Fitzroy free kick. Time running out for the Lions in the third term. We've got, looking at the clock, 39 seconds remaining. Strong grab taken by Gurry in front of Conlon. Gurry inside the defensive 50-metre line. Won't go quite to the boundary line on this one. And the Cats doing it well. All driven up the half forward. Lupson does have talent. Bolson. Melakalis in pursuit. Bolson chips it in short, still inside the square. Graham Osmond takes the grab in front of Michael Cole. And Osmond finally getting clear. Long kick, that's a beautiful kick. Scott lets it go through. That should be a goal. It is, right on the siren, just what Fitzroy wanted. And so the Lions staying with perhaps a glimmer of hope as they go into the final term. It's 4. Nothing more. We've seen a good lead up to the main game. Fitzroy have done well in the ruck position, where John Ironmonger, Ross Glendinning, has done particularly well.
Yes, he has, Peter. And just a tactic which both Geelong ruckmen haven't adopted, Allardyce and Burke, is if I just draw John Ironmonger here, I'll be quite proud of this little drawing here. John there is a left-hander, and if he's heading this way toward goal, he always on centre bounce downs or boundary throws more particularly uses his left hand here to hit the ball that way. Both Allardyce and Burke have been coming from this side and have not been able to nullify that. What they should be doing is coming from here and just knocking that left arm of his and nullifying that effectiveness. Therefore, you have a greater effect of both those Geelong players.
Well, I don't know whether John Ironmonger is pleased with that, but you should be very pleased with the drawing.
Yes, it's not my forte. Plasticine was, I think, Drew.
I failed. Let's check the statistics. Now to three-quarter time, Geelong on top by a margin of 12 in the kicks. The handball, 59 to 41. The Cats doing it by 18. The marks, not too much in that. The frees, 20.
Stops up forward. Dennis Davies said, just go the football, put it on the scoreboard, and I noticed Gary Cameron still bleeding profusely from that left ear.
The umpires approaching Brown and Cameron of football for 1989. Geelong looking set for the flag, 15-10 to 11-10. They've outscored the Lions in every term so far. Brockhurst gets clear of Baldwin and drives Fitzroy forward. Christensen traps the ball beautifully in front of Strooper. In comes Lupson to meet the charge and does it well. The chance for Conlon over the head of Harris to Delina, who spent a little bit of time on the bench this afternoon. Delina's kick, Scott in front, has it knocked away by McCrabb. Scott dives on top of it, will try to effect a hand pass, did so. And the Geelong players at the fall of the ball, as they have been all day. Darren Troy, a solidly built customer. Looks like a bike rider, doesn't he, with those legs? Hand pass is effective. Allardyce. He's done some useful work around the ground. Picked up by Bunn. And a chance for the Cats. The hand pass came from Gribble. And a shot at goal there is astray.
And Peter, Brad Edwards would want to be very careful there. He ran right behind a Geelong player and just gave a little bit of clip behind the ear in front of the umpire. He must have had foggy glasses, I think.
This is Marcoux doing the kicking in. He kicked 2 goals in the third quarter. Brockhurst has done most of his work on the back line. Gets the hand pass out. It's taken away by Woods. Woods' kick up over the centre wing position. bounce eludes Christensen, but he recovers well. He'll be able to trap it in front of Struper once more. He's gone for a hand pass. It wasn't a particularly good one. Thornton almost caught with the ball. A big pack of players developing. Finally has left to Michael Cole to get clear of Graham Osborne. Tries to find Baldwin with the hand pass around Harris as he gets taken out of it well by Osborne. A good hip and shoulder. And Fitzroy go forward. Now Osborne. Can they make something of this? He'll be looking for Scott on the mark instead.
Well played, Graham Osborne there. Sorry, Peter. He just got up from that tackle and just kept playing football.
Trewella
delivered that ball well to Trewella.
Now, if Fitzroy can goal here, it'll be very handy. They got a goal, you may recall, right on the three-quarter time siren. So Mark Trewella, a chance to bring up his second goal.
Man on the mark, just 20 metres from goal. And Trewella thumps it through.
Well, that's his second goal and a very well-needed goal to Fitzroy. They're still not out of it. They were certainly not playing the better football today. And Geelong's lead at three-quarter time of 24 points seemed to have them fairly settled for this last quarter. But Fitzroy have the ability to come back, and that's the sort of start that I'm sure Coach Robert Shaw wanted them to have in this quarter.
Only 3 goals in it, Ross.
I know, there's not a lot in it, Peter.
Just 19 points the difference, and actually Fitzroy have kicked the last 3 goals. A quick hand pass comes out of the middle from Waterson, and Thornton gets the kick up the ground. Thump back from Geelong. Troy, no distance with his kick. Waterson takes the mark. So Fitzroy, having kicked the last 3, are coming home well. Kicked by Waterson, short of full forward. Thumped out by McCrabb. Here's Graham Osborne again. It's his left boot to it. Big chance here for Fitzroy. Marcou's gone to the forward line, having started the quarter in the back pocket. Well, that was great play by Paycor to get rid of him. Gets the hand pass to Morgan, who's run down, which is no mean effort to run down Darren Morgan. It comes to Thornton. Thornton's left foot, a no great distance. Trewella a chance. Can't take the mark. He was outnumbered about 3-1. It comes to Malachellis. Troy at half-back flank. Malachellis kept going. But a bit of a fumble. Tony Malachellis to half-forward. Woods goes in. Now Bolson for Fitzroy. Fitzroy certainly dominating the possessions at the moment. Graham Osborne kept his footing and beats Troy back to it. Ducked the high tackle. The umpire says it is a high tackle, but he definitely, when he saw it coming, buckled down onto his knees. Osborne tries to get around. Scott. Not quite. McCrabb. Away to Christensen. Ebb and flow so far in the last quarter, but Christensen's kicks off the side of his boot, out of bounds on the full. Just 19 points the difference.
And there were a couple of times Christensen, free kick for Fitzroy to be taken by Woods. Woods at the centre wing position. Oh, McCrabb, an easy mark. No Fitzroy player really in position to take it. Fitzroy can get the next goal. It'll be very interesting. If Geelong get it, well, they might be just about home, the Cats. Strong grab by Alderdice. As the sun comes out now, really a magnificent day for the grand final in Melbourne. We couldn't have asked for anything better. That's a play-on call from the umpire. And Christensen, or it was Rogers rather, that does, or did. It's now marked by Cole. Cole looking for options. Fitzroy covering most of them, it would seem. So he kicks the ball long. Oh, that's a strong grab taken by Umbers, who we saw earlier in the game at quarter time, I think it was, in the hands of the trainers with what appeared to be a jaw injury. Obviously, it wasn't as serious as it looked. A goal here would be a real steadier, wouldn't it?
It's a good mark.
Umbers shoots at goal. And what's he done with that one? Only one behind. Gee, indeed. And Edwards just gives him one to go along with, just for the heck of it. I don't think I'd pinch Edwards beer in a pub just quietly. He's a likely customer. Came from Western Australia with a pretty good reputation. Struper. Rogers. Traps the ball well. Out to Morgan, who was taken out of it, I guess, in the third quarter. Got 1 goal, but had 4 before half-time. Christensen. A looping hand pass to Gurry. Back to Morgan. Morgan on the old practice wicket area. And that's too easy.
Yeah, Dean Lupson, hang your head there. He never in chase Morgan whatsoever after the first contest. Morgan ran on and received the ball back again.
Let's see if Umbers does better further out. He was directly in front. Missed what I think we could term a sitter. Laid back on the ball a bit. Now, is that a mark or is it? I think it's a behind. It is. So 1 point to the Cats. Kick 2.
I've got Richard numbers for 4 behinds.
So 15-13 to 12-10. The Lions still in this. 21 points the difference. They need 4 goals. They've got just under 19 minutes left in which to get them.
Brockhurst kicks in. And the mark taken by Leon Harris. Half-back flank. Over the top to Delina. Oh, he was off. Lucky to get away with that. Hand pass into Woods. To centre half forward. Scott with a charge at them. And the man in front might have come down with the mark. And that's an excellent mark taken by Marcoux. It was interesting that he did start this final quarter in the back pocket with Jason Baldwin forward pocket. And they worked a swap after a couple of minutes. And a good pass by Marcoux finds Scott. And a goal here to Fitzroy's leading goal kicker for the season would give the Lions a big hope of winning this premiership from the elimination final.
Not sure what Austin McCrabb was doing there, but he certainly wasn't looking where the ball was going. He was miles behind.
Mark Scott has managed just 1 goal today. Below his usual harvest. But he's kicked an important goal.
The umpire, and the advantage well is paid. Balls and you can go, son. Spiral punt kick up towards half forward. Plenty of distance with that. McCrabb under the ball. Scott taps it down. Here's a chance for Fitzroy. This is Marcoux again. Shoots. Oh, off target. So close. He's kicked 2 goals, Marcoux. And that would have been a handy one, wouldn't it? So 15-13 to 13-11. The Lions eating away at the lead the Cats have enjoyed for most of the day. They've led at every change by 5, 10 and 24 points. McCrabb sees an option in Gurry around the boundary line. Doesn't hug the boundary line with the kick, but it's okay. Alderdice finding some space in front of John Ironmonger. Funny old sort of kick, but it's effective inside the Geelong player's hands. Taken by Phillips. Phillips on right centre wing. Right on the Foster's logo. Umbers couldn't take the mark. Important for Geelong here if they can get a score, just to keep Fitzroy at bay. They won't be able to now because Harris's kick wobbles itself towards the boundary line and in fact crosses it. A boundary throw in to take place on centre wing with 16.5 minutes left in the quarter.
Stuart Cameron just warming up again. Peter, he might be coming back on the ground shortly to give Fitzroy some bite.
Ironmonger, who's rucked unbroken today and tirelessly. Clean possession back to Harris. He's kicked to half forward. Rogers now on Wheeldon. Wheeldon's back on the ground at centre half forward. Gee, I thought that could have been a push in the back. And now the umpire says you are holding the ball, Rogers.
I must agree with you, Drew. Looked pretty obvious, didn't it?
So the kick by Wheeldon. Strooper. Not quite. Marcoux. And the ball out of play in the forward pocket. So Fitzroy back into attack, and they trail by just 14 points. And it really looked as though Geelong, during the third quarter, had the match just about sewn up when they led by 6 goals. Strooper. Hand pass comes in. Conlon grabbed by Rogers. Conlon again for a second go at it. Taken away by Besterfield. Darren Morgan into Troy. Morgan will get it back again. Well, he played 21 senior games and got 2 Brownlow votes in round 22, so he's probably a bit stiff not to be in the seniors today for the big premiership. Here comes Delina for Fitzroy. Out wide to the wing. Malakellis first back there. Wins possession and beautifully gets around his opponent Waterson. Tony Malakellis to half forward. Geelong haven't scored a goal in this last quarter. Leon Harris's hand pass is brilliantly intercepted. And a big chance here for the Cats, and a great goal kicked by Gurry.
Who will win the last VFL Grand Final? Can Hawthorn notch up 1 more to their record?
Oh, the task is just a little bit harder now. Brown. High kick. And a strong mark by Delina, taking it in front of Gribble. He's got a cross goal. The veteran Harris. Harris's kick drops a little bit short. Target out there obviously was Thornton. He tries to get around Troy. Executes that manoeuvre quite okay. In front is Wheeldon. The man that Geelong supporters love to hate at the moment. Might have an appointment at one stage during the week whenever they have the tribunal. Did appear to have his number taken on more than just one occasion. Ironmonger with Alderdice. They've been together most of the day, apart from when Tim Burke came on late in the second quarter. Ball kicked away for the Cats by Gurry. Troy missed it. Hasn't missed too much today. Brown doing battle with Brockhurst. It's out of bounds. And we'll see a throw in pretty close to centre wing. Just on Geelong's attacking side of centre. Under 14 minutes now left in this match. Same two go at the ruck duels. Ironmonger again taps it down. Chance for Fitzroy. Lupson gets offloaded. Ball picked up by Woods. And that will be a push in the back, I would think. And it'll be taken by Strooper. Strooper's on the right centre wing. Long way from goal. Couldn't score from there. Short pass. It's a nice mark. Let's see who's got it. Grab has been taken by Marcoux. Centering kick from that player. Scott at the back, totally out of position. Cole almost gets dragged down by Osborne, but the hand pass is astray. A chance for Fitzroy through Woods to have a shot at goal. And Woods has missed it. So Fitzroy missing crucial shots at this stage of the game. 12:47 left in the match. So they need 3 goals, 1 to tie. 19 points the difference in the reserves grand final. McCrabb to kick in.
2 goals to Fitzroy in this last quarter, and Geelong have added 1 goal 3. Rogers still back towards the back pocket. Towards centre wing for Cole. With him is Osborne. Osborne try and keep it in here. Played it pretty well. Just gets the hand pass away. Strooper ran out of room. Ball out of play for a throw-in. Just over 12 minutes left in the reserves grand final. And Geelong at the moment with the score on the board leading by 19 points. They finished second during the season. Carlton, the minor premiers, were put out in straight games. Hurried kick towards goal by Waterson. Here's a mark to Wheeldon. Now he started the match all right, Wheeldon, and has 3 goals to half-time.
Yes, true. Just again, I can't understand players. He's played the player most of the time today and got himself in all sorts of strife. Just shows there he has got ability to get the ball.
Just to put the Lions within 13 points. That might be close enough. Wheeldon, good kick. Number 4.
Wheeldon's 4th goal, and only 2 goals won the difference now at the MCG. 11.5 minutes. If Fitzroy's good enough, time for them to win. Ironmonger gets the hand pass out, taken by Brockhurst. The hand pass came from Waterson. It's down to half forward again for Fitzroy. Rogers gets underneath the ball, but he might make amends, or will he leave it for McCrabb? And the latter option was there. Strooper got a hand to it, and that was important too, because it was going to be a Geelong mark. Instead, it's, I was going to say out of bounds, but it's not. It's picked up by Baldwin just inside, off the hands of Brockhurst and his opponent in Brown, who's kicked 2 goals. It's out of bounds on centre wing. Clock ticking down. Geelong trying to keep the charging Fitzroy at bay. 13 points the difference. Brown just about near capacity now. Over the top is Alderdice. Hand pass to Thornton. Harris, the veteran, just outside 50. Scott at the back, 2 Geelong players getting fist to ball. It's out of bounds for a throw-in, but importantly for Fitzroy, in their right or left forward pocket.
And I mean, experience there from Mark Scott. Should have told him to get in front there. He knows that Leon Harris isn't a long kick. In the last quarter, the fellow's very tired. Did he expect the ball to go 60 metres? Impossible.
It went about 40, didn't it? Snapshot for Fitzroy, taken by Marcoux. Oh, is that a goal? That's a ripper, son. Oh, has this game come alive, Ross?
Well, it certainly has, and Fitzroy, their persistence has been admirable. I mean, as I said, they were getting very, very tired, and they deserved to be because of the effort they put in the last 3 weeks. Not only to maintain their spot in the 5 in the home and away matches, but then to come through from the elimination final. And Andrew Marcoux, what a great snap from there. His 3rd goal, kicked 2 in the vital 3rd quarter. And that could be the team lifter they wanted.
So the match comes alive. Just over 10 minutes left in this game. Marcoux's 3rd goal, 7 points the difference.
Well, we had the under-19s decided by 1 point in a thriller. Are we heading the same way here? And what will the seniors be today? Brockhurst out of the middle. Half forward for Fitzroy. Could have been against Strooper, it was. In the back. And free kick here to be taken by Gurry. Still time left for the Lions. Just under 10 minutes remaining. Ironmonger a good fist from behind. Comes to the front of the pack to Phillips. Mark not taken. Chance for Geelong here. Kicked off the ground by Hinkley. Under pressure, Bolton, but he does it well. Goes for the boundary line with an educated kick.
No other options, Drew.
Did that well.
Tim Burke warming up on the interchange bench. Hasn't seen much of the action today. The tall younger brother of Geelong skipper Damien Burke. And they might need him in the closing minutes. Oh, Morgan, well played. Gets this ball out to a running Hill. Beats a tackle, goes for goal. That's a magnificent goal. It won't quite make it, though. Oh, it's in the field of play still. Delina keeps it in. Desperation stuff now. Out to Ironmonger, who takes a good mark.
This is a fine mark there. Very steady one. He'd be a very tired boy.
109 plays 102. Watch it again. Ironmonger strongly in front of Alderdice. Up to centre wing. Strooper in front, beaten to it by Gurry.
Strong mark by Gurry on the right centre wing. Short pass, goes in board, picks out a player in Troy. Pretty good game too, Troy, for Geelong. Morgan, so is this fellow. BOG, in my book. I think too many would argue that's not a bad sort of a kick, and it will be rushed through for one behind. So it effectively means Fitzroy needs 2 goals. 16-14 to 15-12. 8 points the difference in the grand final of the reserves.
John Ironmonger in a bit of trouble with the cork above his left knee. They clashed with Alderdice and taken that mark previously.
Edwards on the boundary line, warming up maybe to come back on again shortly as the ball is booted back into play. Plenty of distance in the kick over the top. Troy again, fisted forward. Cole, will he get there first? No, it's going to his teammate in Hinkley. He's been a pretty good player today, done some useful things. One hand pass, I remember, resulted in a goal to Mansfield in the second quarter. It really was a gem from the behind post. But we're going to see on this occasion as Michael Cole drags himself up, a bounce right on 50. Geelong's left half forward flank. Tremendous lead in the seniors grand final between Geelong and Hawthorn. That's out of bounds. Time ticking away, and this is suiting Geelong. 7.5 minutes left in this match. 8 points is the margin. Alderdice wins it. It's a scramble, and the ball carted over the line by Baldwin.
But both coaches would be certainly hoping that players of their respective sides realise how important these last 7 minutes or so are of this season. They've got to pull out the best football they can.
Ironmonger in front of Alderdice. Lupson at the bottom. Hand pass comes over the top. Chance for Gribble to pick the ball up right on the boundary line. I think it's over again. And once more, this is suiting Geelong. It's been there for a minute and a half or so, I think now. Let's see if you can get it out, Drew.
Well, Geelong lost the replay of the under-19s preliminary final after leading deep into the last quarter. They lost it by a point. You tell me it might happen to the seconds as well in the grand final. Here's Peter Baldwin. Tried to centre that one off the side of his boot. Mark taken by Delina, or else out of bounds on the full. Same result. Beautiful conditions here for grand final day 89. Delina short passes. Conlon drifting well back into defence. Open forward line for Fitzroy if they can get it up there. Geelong lead by 8 points. Ironmonger's there again. Takes a good mark coming from behind. Well, he's absolutely starred in the recent games for Fitzroy in their charge towards this grand final. He's continued it today. Kick over the head of Harris. Harris has a chance to tap. Here's a big chance for them now. Hand pass to Thornton. Thornton runs in and from 15 metres goes bang. They're within a kick.
Ross Thornton finally putting through a goal. Only 2 points the difference now. Ironmonger again thumps the ball further forward for the Lions. It should be picked up for the Cats down there by Phillips. Back to Christensen. 5.5 minutes left in the reserves grand final. It's a thriller as we head on the under-19s preliminary replay. Lupson fumbles at the crucial moment. Could have gained a possession. Instead it will be a boundary throw-in. Left half forward flank again for Geelong. A goal here by the Cats might just about seal it. The time, 5.25 minutes left. Ironmonger loses out to Alderdice on this occasion. They've had a titanic struggle, those two. And the Cats, if they got possession, trying to get clear was Gribble. Morgan. A high kick. No one can take the grab. Geelong players at the fall of the ball. Malakelis.
Here's a chance for them. A snapshot by Mansfield is off target. Behind, I think. Or is it out of bounds? It's one behind, which doesn't really help their cause that much. It's still a one straight kick. 16-15 to 16-12. Geelong Brains Trust would have been breathing a lot easier in the third quarter when they led by 6 goals. Ironmonger gets grabbed by Mansfield when seemingly didn't have it. And a chance for the Roy's again. Osborne. Long hand pass. They're certainly looking the fresher. Lupson just off the edge of the square. Short down towards the 50-metre mark. The Cats defending desperately. Troy taken out of it. Opportunity for the Cats again through the agency of Phillips. Mark Scott onto his trusty left foot. Hooks the ball across his body. All up, none down for Fitzroy. Geelong, therefore, should be able to clear it. The ball booted away by Gurry.
Well, Ross Thornton picks up, gets the hand pass away. Big chance here for Fitzroy. Snapped by Woods. Was it touched? They've hit the front. Six goals in the third quarter. Fitzroy kicked the last 2 goals of that term, but they were still 4 goals in front at three-quarter time, Geelong. And they've been outscored and headed by Fitzroy in the closing stages. 3.5 minutes remaining in the premiership season. Or are we going to get another draw here? Might be a double-header at VFL Park next week. Fitzroy go forward again. Finishing all over the top of the Cats. Strooper overruns. Strooper in for another chance. Tapped away by Conman. In his last game in the VFL, Michael Conman. Centering kick. Wheeldon charges onto it and takes the mark inside 50.
And he's every chance here, Drew, to kick his 5th goal. He's a good kick at the football, both with accuracy and distance. He'll be kicking from just outside 50.
And this is the first time the Lions have led since the 17-minute mark of the first quarter. Well, when you want to lead grand finals, it's at the final siren. Wheeldon goes for goal. Way off the side of the boot, out of bounds on the full. So a disappointing effort from Wheeldon, who's kicked 4 goals today. So still the Cats a chance, just 1 kick in it. The Lions by 3 points.
Cole, left half-back flank. Wants to get it moving quickly. Harris underneath it. And the little veteran takes it on right centre wing.
That's a steadying mark, Peter.
Steadying mark. He doesn't know how much time is left, of course, so they have to play attacking football. Too early to go negative. Rogers doing battle with Strooper. Neither can control it. And it's out of bounds. 2 minutes, 11 seconds left in the game. Shaw isn't sure, but he has got the lead. 3 points in it. Burke and Ironmonger. Ironmonger, I would think, would get a free kick for that.
Would have to.
And puts on an Academy Award performance to try for 50. But John Ironmonger, what an effort he's put in today. Absolutely tremendous in the ruck. He's rucked tirelessly and ceaselessly against 2 opponents. And while Craig Alderdice has done well around the ground, Ironmonger, as we watch that again, has played magnificent football at the bounces. Is that a mark for Wheeldon?
I think it might be. It's being paid.
Now Wheeldon has kicked 4. He missed with that long shot earlier, kicked it out of bounds as Gurry stands the mark. He's going to try a banana kick, is he? Yes. I saw Dermot Brereton in the seniors grand final last year bring off a ripper. They are difficult. Check side kick, as Sandy would call them. He's missed again. 2 out of bounds from Wheeldon. I suppose he's had the chance, Ross, to sew it up for Fitzroy.
He has, my word. That's the most difficult shot, of course, but previous chance certainly should have made better use of that.
I guess unless you're really certain of those kicks, it's probably better to run around. Anyway, it's easy from here to say that. Rogers looks for a hand pass, didn't get it. He was well dragged down by Waterson. Melakalis, here's a chance for the Cats. A long kick taken away by Mansfield. It will land inside 50, and the mark for Geelong has been taken down there by Gribble. Now can the Cats get the Siva with less than a minute to go? That's going pretty close. Geelong mark needed it. The mark could have been there. Melakalis.
Being paid, Peter. Being paid to Brown, is it?
Brown, it would appear, has the mark.
How'd you like this pressure?
Whew. And Alderdice nearly came over the top to take it from him. To see this on replay.
Alderdice's mark, actually.
Brown in front. Fortunately, because Melakalis played on and kicked the point.
Well,
Premiership rides on this kick.
It does. He should get it. He's about 10 metres out. Slight angle. Oh, he's missed it. Hit the post, I think. It's a behind. Oh, dear, oh, dear. The nails are being bitten down to the quick. There's 26 seconds left. Drew, you can have the honour record.
If ever you wanted to press a situation, the fellow on the screen there, Paul Brown, found himself in the worst situation of all time.
20-year-old, what an opportunity. Brockhurst kicks in for Fitzroy. Close to the boundary line, Thornton takes the mark. He kicked a goal himself and was instrumental in setting up another one in this last quarter. They've kicked 6 goals to 1, Fitzroy, to come from behind, to lead when it matters most. 10 seconds left in the grand final. Out goes Ironmonger, but no whistle for that. And it's a Geelong mark, but the time is out. Geelong too far out to score. Burke's kick, and the Lions have got up to win it by 2 points.
From 5th.
And Michael Conlon is rather happy.
Well done, Nick. Well, a great day for Fitzroy, and congratulations to them. They showed heart, they showed spirit. They came back from a 24-point deficit at three-quarter time. Robert Shaw coming onto the ground. He'd be a very happy man. And what a fight back it was. They looked a beaten side. 6 goals down during the third quarter, and they got up to win. They plugged away. It wasn't a spectacular fight back. More or less, I guess you could say, Ross, a methodical one. Great heart.
Yeah, they kept chipping away, and their heart was shown in no greater form than John Ironmonger. He just proved all day what persistence and courage can get you. I didn't think they had the numbers to get through this game, Peter, but by gee, they fought back, and just shows you that even with a 4-goal break, or a 4-goal deficit, that you can still win football matches. And what a great relief that would be for Robert Shaw, and a great tribute to him for getting these players up. And I'm sure Curly Austin will be pretty happy as well.
Fitzroy achieving the impossible by winning from 5th spot, the first time it's been done in the reserve grade competition. The under-19s of Fitzroy also won a grand final from 5th. They did that in 1982 after playing in the elimination final. So the Lions can do it from 5th. No one's yet done it in the firsts.
Happy scenes with the victors there, but think about Geelong. In all games today, in the under-19s replay of the preliminary final, they lost by a point, and in the reserves grand final, they lost by 2 points.
Yes, things haven't gone their way. There's one to go. That's the important one. And Michael Roberts has Michael Conlon with him now. Congratulating for us, Mick.
Well, Michael, from 5th spot, you've taken it out. You know, Geelong led all day, but you got up. It must be a fantastic feeling.
Yeah, it was a great win. Very good. The boys never gave in. Came back in the end, and that's one of the best wins I've ever played with. Great.
Career now. It's good to go out on a bit of a high spot.
Fantastic finish. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. It's great.
Go and enjoy it with the boys. Fantastic effort.
Michael Conlon, I guess we might have heard him better if he'd taken the mouth guard out. But, I don't think we criticise him for that. Oh, that's great to see. Well done to the Fitzroy boys. Curly Austin, their coach there. Robert Shaw, the reserve coach, of course. Well, there's material there. They'll probably lose a few veterans, Conlon and Thornton, maybe Leon Harris as well. But they've served their club admirably. And I guess today, the finest hour for many of those youngsters who will live to fight another day. So repeating the final score, Fitzroy winning the reserves grade premiership. The Lions coming back in the final quarter, and they finished up with 16-16, 112 to 17-12, 114. In the background there you can see the arena being readied for the main game. Those large cocoon-like containers actually filled with balloons, in turn filled with helium. They will be released as the respective teams run onto the ground. Michael Roberts seeking out Robert Shaw. I think he's got him down. Here he is now.
It's be a great win to come from behind like that. The boys did it well.
Yeah, all year, especially through the finals, we've had that bloody never say die spirit, and you know, it's stuff that bloody dreams are made of and finals are made of. I thought we were gone. You know, we started to play the man. We were a bit silly, but by geez, they stuck to their guns, and that's got to be a fantastic victory for the boys.
The young players out there put in well, but I felt for the older ones, the Thorntons, the Conlons.
Yeah, well, you know, we've had a belief that it's as important for our young blokes to get into the finals, and they've led the way all through. You know, we've had 4 hard games, and the older blokes have come to the fore, and the young blokes have come through for them, and it just holds the bloody club in stead next year for a terrific year.
tremendous effort by you with your first year at Fitzroy. All the best in the future. Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks.
And the Fitzroy boys enjoying their victory now, and it certainly surprised us. I thought halfway through even the second quarter that Geelong were getting their game together pretty well. Kicked 5-3 in that second quarter. Fitzroy against Geelong, 6-2 and 10 points. Thought it could have been more. And 24 points at three-quarter time. And when we go back, Ross, that goal that Fitzroy got right on the siren really did perhaps set them up for the last quarter.
Yes, it did. But I think, as Robert Shaw said, he was concerned early in the game that they were playing the man too much, but they then played the football in the crucial stage and they won the game.
They did.
Statistically, they were very even on kicks, handballs favouring Geelong. And again down there on the hit-outs, John Ironmugger having the win, having the honours there. And the tackles fairly even, as you would expect in such a tight game.
The official presentation for the reserves grand final.
Could I ask the captain of the Fitzroy Reserves to come forward, Leon Harris? Well done, Leon.
Three veterans who have served Fitzroy so well. Here's the captain.
It's a fantastic feeling. I can never get here in the Saints grand final today, but I tell you, the enjoyment's fantastic. To Geelong, bad luck, but we both gave it our best shots. You never know, Geelong will get up in the main game. Thanks very much, and well done, players. Fantastic effort, and we're just wrapped. And the Rob Shaw.
Yes, I think everybody is wrapped, wearing the maroon and blue of Fitzroy. Arthur Wilson there, Fitzroy manager, sorting a few things out. Full credit to John Ironmugger. I thought he played a tremendous game. Didn't play a senior game this year. Well done. Rucking superbly in the reserves. We'll take a break from the emphasis, check the situation out from the air, and here's Dixie Marshall once again.
Pete, if you thought you had your head in the clouds down there building up for this grand final, spare a thought for us. We're about 1,500 feet above Melbourne, but even from here you get that high from being a part of a VFL grand final. Our bird's eye view shows us everything is just about in place. The traffic chaos has eased. Still a bit overcast and the sun is about to poke through. Our pilot has just told us that the wind has done a complete 180-degree turn in the last half an hour. It's now a southerly wind, so it should be favouring the punt road end. All in all, a sensational view. It just sends tingles up your spine, Pete.
Right, thank you, Dixie. Great view from the air of the MCG, and down on ground level, things getting ready for the senior game. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the reserves and the under-19s. We've had some crackerjack finishes, haven't we? I wonder if the seniors is going to be just the same. We certainly hope it is. All is in readiness for the 1989 VFL Grand Final to be contested between Hawthorn and Geelong. These two sides last clashed in the senior Grand Final back in 1963 when the Cats were victorious by 49 points. A chance for the Hawks' revenge.
Sporting festivals in this country. I'm happy to say that joining me are two former greats of the game in Ross Glendinning and Peter McKenna, and I'll bet, gentlemen, the hair on the back of the neck is standing on end.
Well, it certainly is, Sandy. We've got the classic confrontation in this game, the solid, dependable Hawks versus the brilliant Cats, and I think that people are pretty much divided in Melbourne about the outcome, Ross.
I think there's some affinity towards Geelong, Sandy, because of their great season, but of course Hawthorn being the experienced team that they are, 7 consecutive grand finals. I mean, what a record.
Let's have a look firstly at the Hawthorn team.
Well, this great Hawthorn side, they've been up there.
Inside the rooms, it is like a carnival here at the MCG. We're looking at a crowd of around 95 to 100,000 people. It's going to be a wonderful day. Wherever you're watching, right around the world, we've got plenty of marvellous entertainment coming up, including the Australian cricketers, who of course defeated England 4-0, and entertainment from John Farnham. Will be back shortly. Regained the Ashes under Bob Simpson and Alan Border, and the boys are doing a well-earned lap of honour. A tremendous thrill for all of them. Border along with Marsh, Boone, Dean Jones, a local Melbourne boy, Mark Taylor, who batted so well, Mike Valletta, Tim Zura, youngster Greg Campbell, and there he is, with Ian Healy, Steve Waugh, a sensational run machine on that particular tour, Merv Hughes, another local Melbourne hero, Terry Alderman, a prolific wicket taker, Carl Rackerman, Jeff Lawson, Trevor Holmes, Tim May and Tom Moody, the latter duo who still have test careers ahead of them but didn't really get their opportunities whilst overseas. A marvellous thrill for all, a marvellous honour, particularly for Alan Border, who was recently bestowed the Order of Australia, and a great award too for the achievements, taking a relatively raw team away and bringing back the Ashes in no uncertain fashion with a wonderful 4-0 victory. And this big crowd is giving 3 cheers to Alan Border, Jeff Marsh and the boys. There's Merv Hughes, Steve Waugh. Terry Alderman has made his intentions clear. He is wearing the Hawthorn scarf. I wonder if that is an omen to come. Three of the great characters of the game in Hughes, Waugh and Alderman. And this big crowd.